Just waiting for a signal. And there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Jedi Academy on a Saturday morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the show where we do nothing but answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And it's a straight Q&A show for 2 hours. All we will do is scoop up your questions and answer. We'll put together a great panel. And that's what we're here to do. So it's real simple, the format. If you have a question you want to pose to myself, the panel, or multiple people, it doesn't really matter. Put your question into the chat. When you do, make sure you follow the following format, because this is very important, is that you make sure that you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. I am the person scooping up the questions. We use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and we use a filtering word, and that filtering word is, of course, the word question. Not too hard today. It's not hard. It's not hard today.
It's not hard. It's not difficult.
No. So if you
and
follow
not doing that, it's not big. Yeah. It's not clever.
No, you're gonna get your question missed, because most likely I am not going to see it. So with that being said, everybody, welcome to the show. Oh man, I have to hold on. This damn thing is PPing me off. Hold on. All right, there we go. But yeah, so get your questions in. It does behoove you to get your questions in sooner rather than later, because we are going to go for 2 hours now. For the schedule for RSG for today, we've got of course the Jedi Academy, which we're going to be doing for the next couple hours. Then after that, I will go do GAC, and that'll be over on Twitch. If you haven't checked out our Twitch channel, please do. And then after that, so we'll have a break, and then tonight we'll be back for some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Wellmount campaign over at Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central my time. So get your questions in. Again, it does behoove you to get your questions in sooner than later, because sometimes we've had times where we've been bombarded by so many questions that we were literally just not, even when we extended the Jedi Academy, we couldn't get to all the questions. It does happen. And if we don't get your question, that's okay. A lot of times when people ask questions, it actually answers some for some of the other folks out there. So that works fine. So there you go. That's the format of everything. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you've thought about maybe becoming a Patreon sponsor, feel free to do. Also support these channels, which will allow these guys to pimp their stuff at the end. They come here on a Saturday morning to answer your questions about the game. So it's an easy way to show them some love, is to go watch their content and support them as well, and say thank you for being here. But I hope everyone's having a good morning. It's, again, Saturday morning. I got woken up earlier than I thought because, well, it was thundering and lightning. It has been doing nothing but stupid raining here all the last 3 or 4 days. So, yay! That being said, welcome everybody, and let's go ahead and introduce everybody on the panel so far. I'm sure there might be some more people showing up, and they kind of trickle in, but we'll get them in eventually. Starting off with my co-host from the GA Center, we've got the Nev.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Drinking horrible coffee.
Add a little bourbon. It'll make it better. Bourbon makes everything better.
Not really bad tasting foul coffee. I mean, it might just been the way I made it, but it's still, yeah.
Maybe time to clean your filter in your pot. Just throwing that out.
No, these are pod ones.
Oh, well, then I have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
I have no idea what you did.
I should have just gone with instant.
Oh, man. The instant coffee is gross. Ugh.
No, it's not. Not if it's the right instant. No, it's not.
It's gross. I like...
Instant would have been better than this.
I like fresh coffee, sorry. The only thing that besides fresh coffee, which I drink a lot, is my Starbucks canned coffee that I like. But... Yee. Also joining us all the way from the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, the one, the only, Warrior from Warrior Presents.
Rocky Mountain High.
Colorado. What's going on,
I'm in my car
Warrior?
right now, but I'll be at work here shortly, so
Yay.
better audio here in a second.
Yay.
Yay, gotcha, yeah.
Yay, technology. Isn't it amazing? Warrior can talk to us on his way to work and then can talk to us from work. It's technology. All right. Is there such a thing as bourbon coffee, Skywalker Vader? You sure? Yes, it is. I know you have a lot of limitations in what you can get up there besides whiskey and maple syrup, eh? But yes, it is definitely something you can do. Simple. Just get bourbon, get coffee. Voila. You can make it yourself. It's amazing. All right. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And let us start. And we always start the show by, just kind of talking about the past week in SWGOH. We started 5v5 GAC. We got through Conquest, and then we're like, yay, we got through that slog, and then we saw, hey, in 5 days we have to do Conquest again. Boo.
Boo.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of back-to-back-to-back Conquests, folks. We just have to get through it. We're going to have to hold each other. We're going to get through this, everybody. We're just going to have to get through it together. So, wasn't a lot of announcements. Who's got Lord Vader slowly creeping, working his way up with him. But more Conquest started on Monday. So, goodness gracious. So, a lot of stuff coming down the pipe with more Conquest stuff. But I think this one will be a little bit easier because we kind of know what to expect from it. It's not going to change from the previous one, other than they fixed a lot of bugs and issues that it was happening. So, Nev, we'll start with you. What's anything on your mind this week, SWGOH?
Apart from
are you warrior, sir? I said warrior, Nev. I'll throw you.
Sorry, I thought you said no. You said Nev.
I said
Nev,
Nev,
aka warrior.
Yeah, aka yeah.
Nev. You said Nev.
What
He's
Nev?
a warrior.
I heard Nev.
Yeah,
I heard Nev.
No.
See, now I can't hear anything.
You'll have to go back and listen.
Yeah.
He did say warrior.
Yeah.
But so I can be deaf though, but yeah, he did say warrior.
Both
but
of us
it's all
could be
good.
deaf, yeah, and I could have brain
we can
damage.
be-
So
We can deaf dumb. I can be deaf dumb and blind. It's all good. I would say that this week's been fast-paced, but all in all, I'm pretty good. I am 11 of 12 pieces for Ultimate
yay.
on Lord Vader, and I am 142 out of 144 on the stuff. So I already have my Ultimate, but I'm trying to stockpile that energy for the next time around.
Sure.
Trying to learn from my lessons. So I'm going to get 2 more pieces of energy this afternoon at lunchtime when I get my lunch energy, and then I will go and get my last Ultimate piece. So
There you go. And then just 2 more conquests, and you'll have Maul, and then you'll be ready to.
yeah, we're about 6 weeks, 7 weeks away from having Maul. So
Well, it
that's
depends
kind of
because
exciting.
we got this conquest, which is going to be 2 weeks, and then I don't know if we're going to get another 5 days, and then right into the next one because that's going to be until October. Oh boy, yee. I think we might get it back to back again. We're going to have another 5-day break, and then another one.
Well, I think they're going to give us a slightly longer break. I don't think it's
You
going to be
think?
4 days, but like this last one. But I do think it's going to be. Normally they go like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I don't think we're getting the 2-week break. I think
No.
we're going to get like a 1-week break because they delayed and then delayed, and since we had a double delay, I think they'll probably just do a 1-week break. So
Sure.
we had a 4-day break this time, and then we'll probably have a 7-day break the next time, is my guess.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, it'll go 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 week. So we're talking about 5 weeks, basically, probably total before we have them.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is 6 weeks, which is nuts.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Nav.
Buzzsaw. I saw it in chat. Buzzsaw says you said Nev as well.
The Buzzsaw likes to troll.
Oh, okay. It's been an all right week. Great start to Grand Arena Championships. I got box 4 on Conquest, so sucks that I'm not going to get Relicate materials from Conquest. So I care as little about Conquest as I do about challenges now.
Sure.
So yeah. But I did get myself into a new guild that does the Crown Core
Sure.
and takes things a little bit more seriously. So yay.
Hey, Relegate pieces for Nav coming soon to a theater near you.
Apart from that, I had an innocuous post. I've only ever made full posts on the SWGOH forums, and I made a post about the conquest and the grindiness of the game.
Yeah.
I went in to edit it, and because I did a I did a yaw instead of a yaw. I was reading back through it, so I clicked, and it said your post will be ready to see once we've approved it, and then they never approved it. There was no profanity in it, no swearing, nothing. Fourth time I'd ever posted, and they censored an innocuous thing referring to the game as, you know, can you help us out with a grind, you know, like you did with challenge tiers, where you made them simmable. That gave us back more time to do other things in the game. And then they doubled the time requirements for conquest, thus making the game more grindy, not less grindy. I'm a bit, it was the fourth time I'd ever posted in the forums. I'm a bit pissed that it got censored.
Well,
so that's my
I don't know like why it got censored, but I mean,
neither do I.
For moderators, maybe they're just having a bad day. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anything unreasonable.
Like I said, no
you
swearing.
You didn't call them wanker or anything like that.
No, nothing. No profanity.
Wankers.
No wankers. No tossers. No assholes. Nothing. A very, very milquetoast fence-sitting post about how the game's a little bit too grindy, and it'd be really nice if they could help us out.
Sure.
You know, stop giving us back time like simmable challenge tiers, and then adding time by doubling the grindiness of conquest. You know, things like that. And it got censored. So yeah, a bit pissed off with that.
I can understand.
Spent an hour typing that damn thing out and then editing it, and it's like, oh, you know, your post will be up. You know, once we
remember, the people that do that are not actually Capital Games at all, or even EA. It's someone like you or me that said, "Hey, let me," and they said, "Okay, fine, whatever." And they made him a moderator on the forum. Some junkie that loves the forum, been on the forum a million days. You know,
someone drunk on power.
And someone drunk on power, exactly. And so this person thinks they know what's offensive and thinks they know what's not offensive, and they're deciding for themselves what can and can't stay. And EA's kind of just trusting them that they're going to make the right or wrong decision on what's offensive or not offensive. The truth is, a lot of those moderators do a terrible job of moderating.
It just pisses me off because normally when I write an article or a blog about something, I'll type it out on a notepad or on a Word document first, and then I'll copy and paste it onto the method that I'm posting online. I didn't do that on this occasion, so I have no record of what it was I wrote. I know it wasn't offensive. I know it wasn't nasty or mean-spirited or horrible.
If they see it as derogatory in any way, perceptually, they'll delete it or ban it, even if it's not derogatory, if the person reading it perceives it as such, which is really messed up because basically in today's day and age, everything you say, unless you're saying, "Oh, it's the most amazing thing ever, we love it,"
yeah,
it's offensive. You know what I mean?
Someone's ass. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the stuff that I put. It's not like the stuff I put on OnlyFans for a meow, like my one and only OnlyFans fan. It's not like that, but yeah. Anyway, so that was it. That was my week. I haven't done my GAC for round 2 yet, so we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But I doubt my opponent's even going to go.
Well, we got a $20 super chat from the lovely Meow Meow. He says, "What if we got battle pass like Marvel Strike Force? Everyone hated real-time arena grind, and you could spend $20 for more rewards or $40 for MLRE rewards and instant progress. Time equals money. Imagine spending $20 for 100 conquest burritos." Well, I'm okay with that. If you want to give people the option to spend, and they want to spend, I mean, doesn't bother me any. Speaking of spenders, we got the Blunder from Down Under. Thank you for the $20 there, Meow Meow. Love you. We've got the Blunder from Down Under, the one and only Heinzie. It's Heinzie.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Sorry I was a bit late. I was just helping someone out with something else. So I do apologize. But
Hey, Governor.
How are you guys? Welcome. Meow meow. Yeah, thank you so much for the dono. And funny you mentioned OnlyFans. I actually I set up an OnlyFans account, and then people started paying me to put my clothes back on. So I cancelled that really quick. Didn't quite work out for me. So it is.
Yeah,
what
I've only
it
got
is,
the
but,
one fan. It's Meow Meow.
That's better than what I got. Even Mrs. H is looking at me sideways. That's a whole different story.
Mrs. H was actually paying Heinzie as well to put his clothes back on. So it was like, oh, not a good start.
Yeah. No, it's not a good start.
No,
There's so many
good...
lines, so little time there, Ranger.
Yeah,
that's great. Hey, what's going on with your camera today, Ranger? We got a lot of sunlight coming from the side there today.
No, it's a new setup. I've got everything. I've had to check the other light. I didn't like the way it was looking and stuff. So
cool.
So I got a new setup. The background's not complete. I got much more to do. But I totally rearranged everything, redid my background. It's not complete yet, but redid my setup. I mean, it was a lot of work. It was a full redecoration. So yesterday, besides moving furniture again and cleaning carpets and, adjusting stuff, and I still have some more stuff to move and some other things that I'm waiting to get before the background's completely done. But yeah, I readjusted my desk, readjusted everything. So I'm a tired Ranger. I've been doing this shit for 2 weeks now, and I'm exhausted. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's only a couple more things we have left to do, and then the big project will be getting all the shit we put in the garage. I'm like, Mom, can we just call Goodwill and have them come get this shit, please? I don't want to haul
Goodwill
this.
is your friend.
Like, Goodwill will come and get it. We can get please, God. Please.
Give it to the Salvation Army.
I want to, either one. It doesn't matter. Salvation Army, Goodwill, I don't care who wants it, and come get it. Like beds and some other furniture and stuff like that. So, because we have all this new stuff that she wanted, put it together. It's all, where she wants it in good feng shui, she says. So, yeah, I'm sick of redecorating. It's a pain in the ass. So, but I was like, if we're gonna do it, I'm gonna redo my background and redo my areas. So, so I've got some more stuff coming, and eventually I'll have it all done. But I wanted to get it initially done, so it'll be squared away. So a few more things and thingamabobs, and all I need to do is worry about streaming and working out, and that's all that really matters.
Have you got more flat pack to do? Are you done on your flat pack, or you still got some more flat pack to do?
What the hell's a flat pack? What's an English translation?
Like
of
IKEA
that?
stuff. We got to put stuff together.
A couple other things, but they're like smaller things. The big things are done, like all the cabinets and desk and breakfast cereals. Those are all done. It's just little dinky cabinets. She wanted to go with her friend to Hobby Lobby today, and I'm like, okay, we'll go to Hobby Lobby. But I just know I'm just going to sit there for 2 hours while they go look at everything, and then because she saw the setup and she's like looking at it. She's like, well, we need to get this and this. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
That's why I no longer go with my sister and my mother to
you can't if you're a man.
Can't do it.
Yeah, because they only have like one section that's got cool like Star Wars stuff and everything.
It's got like models and
I'll go look
Metal Earth
at
stuff,
I'll go look at all that, and you're like, oh, Transformers. I can.
And then that's it. 5 minutes you're done.
Yeah. After that, you're just like, no,
twiddling your thumbs.
No, Mr. Darth, no. It's like, oh god. So, Heinz, anything on your mind this week? SWGOH related?
Oh, look, I think a lot of other people got a lot of things on their mind. They're looking forward to the next conquest,
no,
aren't they?
We're really not. No, yeah.
I had a good run. I got the red crate.
Yeah,
I got some good data discs. It made my life a lot easier.
Sure.
I think I echo everyone else's sentiments that probably already mentioned here already, guys, that it's a bit grindy.
It's too grindy.
It's a bit too repetitive, and as Grit actually said to us last night, it's just not a challenge. It's just a repetitive grind, and I think that's kind of what we don't want. I think that a lot of us want more of a challenge.
Some of it is a challenge, but the grindy stuff is just way too effing grindy, right? It's that's my biggest complaint, and why I ranted 2 weeks ago a little bit on RSG Wednesday stream. I was angry. I was like, this is bad. I mean, there's some good stuff with Conquest. Well, we beat the horse to death. But I mean, the solutions for me is less RNG on the data disk. I like the data discs. They're fine. They're cool. They're fun to play with. They're fun to use, and I'm okay with that. The energy needs to be relooked at. If you're going to have this many feats, then you need to have energy on a normal cycle of energy, not the goddamn canteen where you're getting 6 an hour. That's just ridiculous. The grindiness too. I think we need to get rid of the 14 ones, the 14 feet. That's just, there's no challenge to that. It's just you have to do the same battle 14 times. There's nothing even remotely fun, challenging, or good about that, other than you just have to spend. And the other thing is reduce some of these feats as well, because we don't want to spend this much time. This was my biggest problem. I've got the time too. I'm not, I've got the time to do it. I don't want to spend that much time doing it. I mean, it's like, damn, I don't want to spend, the hours I spent doing Conquest, and I'm going to do it again, is insane. And, the sad thing is, a lot of people, this and some other things, it's really starting to cause some players just like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. It's too much time on top of everything else. Like, it's like with Conquest, when you've got GAC, NTBs, NTWs, raids are happening, you've got to do your climb and squad arena. There's a lot going on, and then you throw in this time for what you have to put in Conquest every day. I can see why people, especially for the vast majority of players, big spenders too. This is a big turnoff for them. They've got jobs, they got families, they got lives. They don't have, they like to, a lot of the reasons, and a lot of the Krakens I've talked to, the reason they spend so much money so they don't have to spend as much time. They love the game, they love doing stuff in the game, but they want it on their terms. That's why they spend the money that they did, so they're not worried about grinding or any of this other stuff. They just log in when they want and work on what they want to work on, and have fun with the guild and do the events, and that's it. They're not sitting there like, I want to spend an hour and a half each day doing Conquest. That's maddening to them. And it's, it's not just free to play who can't get the higher crates because they don't have, they don't have the necessary teams, but it's, for the higher end spenders, it's like, good God, I spend all this money and I got to spend this much time in the game. Kiss my ass.
Yeah. It's funny, Ranger, that this is the first game mode that I know of that there are people out there that are so disinterested in Conquest that they're actually paying other people to do it for them.
I know, isn't that wild?
Now,
I'd rather pay someone. Yeah.
That's bizarre, and that just shouldn't happen. It can't happen.
No, I think they it was where it was, and people were complaining that it was too short and stuff like that, and they want a little bit more. I think CG overshot the moon by leaps and bounds on this. They need to pull it back just a little bit. Just do the things that I suggested. There's some other people with some other bright ideas out there that you can just pull it back. Get rid of some of those feats. Like the mid-tier boss, and again, another small one. The mid-tier boss, that's ridiculous. The other thing, too, is data have got to be less RNG. That is too... it's crazy. We were talking about this on your show on Monday, Heinze, with me and Loki.
Yeah.
We compared the data disc. You got 3 purples. I got 1. Loki got none. And then the different blues and stuff that we got were totally random. And it makes it different, especially if you're like a little bit lower GP than we are. You kind of need certain data discs to have a shot at this.
I got no purple.
Hey, look who it is, everybody!
It's the world famous Kate Gaming.
World famous Kate Gaming is joining us. Forget the rest of this nonsense. Kate, let's just hear your thoughts on the game period.
What?
Anything you want to say about the game, go ahead. We don't care. Everyone's going to shut up now.
Oh, no, you're talking about Conquest. So I was
go
like,
ahead.
Look, usually I'm pretty positive, I think, about stuff. And I was just like, this is so time consuming and I don't have the time for it.
Right.
But it's like, I think you guys were just talking about it. If they made a couple of changes, like literally like bringing down the cost of the energy used for the battles, but also the refresh period for the stamina, I think we'd be fine.
Yeah, that's stamina is another.
Like the feats really don't bother me that much. Like they're a challenge, if anything, which I like a challenge. So they're fine, but I don't want to spend like the amount of crystals I spent on refreshes is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
I think mine was around, it was between 12 and 1,400 crystals total for the event for me, with the 350s and the one a day or two that I did like the 300s just to try to get through it, which I'm going to do again. Look, you've kind of figured it out. The first 2 days we're going to spend 350 crystals. And
well, it's like for people like me, it's like, is this even worth it? Like, I don't put money into the game. I only get a certain amount of crystals a day. I have a fleet and squad arena. Is this worth it for me? That's
the thing that I was I was really pushing, is that, it's different for me and those of us that, I get one in arena, both arenas. I got plenty of crystals coming in. Me spending crystals doesn't bother me, but then I always try to think about this from a lower GP, You know, I was talking to AP Games about this and some others, and mid-game players like yourself, Kate, it's like, you guys got other stuff to farm. You can't be spending the amount of crystals that I can afford and not think about it. You can't.
And I get a decent amount of crystals, I think. Like, usually I finish, like, top 10 of Fleet Arena. So that's a decent amount. Yeah. With Executor, now I'm rarely getting like number 1 and stuff. I used to get number 1 like pretty much daily until that came out.
Yep.
And then Squad Arena, I just started finishing below 100. So
yeah. So I mean, you have to, you know, you're working on characters, and you've got you also need these characters in Conquest. I'm coming up on like trying to farm Executor requirements.
No,
like,
I'm good.
How am I gonna get Razor Crest? Like, I have to spend like 600 crystals or get the 400 Conquest key card, whatever thing. I can't finish it regardless, and I can't get it anywhere else. So.
Right. Plus the Relic 8 and stuff. So
the Relic 8 aren't as much of an issue anymore. We are beating Cranker now.
Well, yeah, that's good. So I mean, you're
but
actually,
a lot of people aren't.
Yeah,
there
a lot
are people who aren't.
Absolutely. So
any mid tier like Kate and I, doing the Crankle now, we care less about Conquest than we did. If we weren't getting Crankle, we cared about the Conquest. Yeah. Now we're in guilds doing the Crankle. It's like, fine, whatever. Make Conquest as grindy. Yeah, because the character. Yeah, our engagement is like
with Conquest. Now I'm worried about getting currently for me, my cat shards.
Yeah.
Maul, I'm not too worried about, because I'm like, I'm not gonna have Lord Vader anytime soon. But I want those cat shards that are in the higher tier boxes. The Relic 8 materials, quite honestly, I didn't even look at to see how many there were, because I'm not really worried about that anymore. Yeah. But like, if you would have asked me 2 conquests ago, that was my main income of Relic 8 material, because I wasn't getting them really anywhere else. Yeah,
I agree. So yeah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. A lot of stuff that needs to be done with Conquest. So hopefully, and you know, they do this in 3 cycles, so we'll have to grind through these next 2. Just, you know, I was telling everybody, do what you can, spend the time that you can on it. And if you can't spend any more time than what you can, and you can't beat it because of teams, just get the best box you can. Don't stress about it. It really isn't. And we'll get through this, and trust me, they're listening, they're taking the feedback. I think I'm pretty
just have fun.
Yeah, just go do what you can with it, and then, you know, we'll see the changes that they make after these next 2, and then we'll see if they. And I gotta say, you know, the communication with CG is there, so they're listening. They're listening to your guys' feedback. Trust me, I talk to them about it all the time. You know, so these discussions are happening, and so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in the discussions, guys. Trust me, CG is listening. And that was what
I don't think I've seen everyone all on the same page about a topic like this.
No.
It's unanimous, isn't it? It's across the board. Every community you go to, everyone's feeling the same about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they know. Yeah. They would know.
I mean, there's some people that are positive, and there are positives to some of the stuff that they did with Conquest. You know, I mean, I've listed out some of them, but yeah, the negatives for me just totally outweigh the positives, and it's just not a fun experience. Which is sad to say, because I am getting this is someone that is getting the high tier box. I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, the time. Speaking of time, we got some more people joining us on the Jedi Academy. We got awesome, and by that I mean Calvin. Calvin, what's going on, you sexy beast?
Not a whole lot, man. Happy to be here. Guess I came at the right time, because I'm one of the few weirdos that actually likes Conquest.
You got the high tier crate and everything.
Yep, I got the high tier crate, and I'm excited for these next 2, particularly because I took a lot of notes, and I know exactly what's a waste of time and what's a good idea. So I do appreciate the break until Monday, but I'm going to be happy to hit it again and see if I can make some improvements from last time.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be a little bit more efficient with my crystals, and now that I know, like, there's the Frenzy and the Scavenger, I have to get one of those Scavengers, not so worried about the data disk, so that'll save me some more time as well, so, but it's still going to be grindy. Goodness gracious. And then also join us is, well, he's not a normal fly, he's just a sandfly. Audio Sandfly is here with us.
Hey, man. Hey, Ranger. Hey, everyone.
Yeah,
I was chilling. I was watching the horse racing. I thought I'd jump in, say hi.
You were watching what?
Horse racing gambling.
Get a win?
I was winning, But we moved from winning it. I thought I'd try this. But yeah, I'm a little bit in Calvin's boat. I know I was listening obviously, but Conquest was okay. I quite enjoyed it. I got the red crate. I'm kind of looking forward to getting stuck in it again and learning from the mistakes and seeing how few crystals it takes me this time. But yeah.
So for you, Alice, and you, Calvin, I hear what you're saying, but you enjoy doing the same 14 battles over and over again.
I had totally checked out of it. I thought okay. Let's be honest. I had checked out of it. I was getting the second top crate, and I was happy with myself, and I thought this is great. And I did a little stream, I think on the Monday or something like that. And I said, well, let's do a little bit of Conquest or something. We'll just do like a couple of auto battles. And I was saying, well, I can't do this battle. And then somebody from chat goes, put these 3 people in, and wiped out like about 25 of the things in like 2 seconds. And then it was like, hang on, jump onto this battle, stick these 3 people in, and got me a load more. And I was like, hang on, I just got like 50 of those little things in 2 seconds just because I was using the right teams. And then I jumped on Lord of the Darts' channel, and he was chatting about how he does it and got me onto hot utils and some of the great utilities on there. And when I started looking into them, some of the feats that I thought were impossible for me, watching the amazing stuff of Skeltrix and all the other people that put out amazing content, sorry to drop various people, but not everyone, I realized that, hang on, this is possible. And it then became an exciting race to the finish with me trying to kind of give Geonosians like their energy back and so it took on a very strange kind of excitement race to the finish. I know it was in no way a crystal efficient way of doing it. I know it was a shambles from start to finish, but it left me a huge sense of kind of excitement about starting again. And now having kind of seen just how some of these feats like Bad Batch was 100% doable. Padme, GML, and what? And you can just stick in any 2 Bad Batch, no matter what gear, and you start getting kills. So you rack up the kills, and it was a revelation to me that I thought I would never kill anyone. Seeing my geos, so I checked out. But yeah, anyway.
There you go. Well,
I welcome
science.
Yeah, the 14 battle ones, those are the ones that I got to the end. I'm like, okay, I hate those. Like, there's no real theory crafting aspect to them.
No,
you just have to get in there and do it, and it's very anti-conquest because they know that you're going to use stamina, so you can't do every single battle with Geonosians, even if you had R7. So I don't like those. I do like what he was getting on to about like theory crafting to figure out how to get 50 kills with Bad Batch in like 2 battles. Or like I found this really weird comp with 3PO, Death Trooper, and Watt to be able to get 4 death marks in 1 battle, and things like that kind of give you, not to take I feel like we always use it sarcastically, but a sense of accomplishment. Like you feel like you figured something out. You feel like you won the puzzle. That was the cool part for me. At the end of it, I don't think I did. I think I only did 1 of the 14 battle ones, and it was the smuggler one, and that was because it was really easy to get other feats while doing that one, like staggered.
Sure, yeah, you can do that with that team. I mean, yeah, see, for me, it's just the opposite, because for me, it's like the time invested, just the monotony of it, it took away from, and I did have some fun, trying to figure out certain teams, and we did, like using Trey with 4 Mandalorians against Geonosians, easily knocked out the kill a certain amount with Mandalorians. I mean, stuff like that, that's cool, that I really enjoy, but for me, the time sink, the amount of time I had to sit there and play this every day, it was like gross. It's just
and
really,
if you like miss a day, you're screwed.
Yeah, you can't miss a day, but when you talk about the stamina, that was the other frustrating. You have to kind of plan out, like, okay, I'll do my 3 Night Sisters or 4 Night Sister battles here. I'll do the 4 Geonosian battles here because you have the energy for, especially if you're not, if you're not going to have crystals or spend crystals. So I'm sure we're going to get to more questions and stuff about Conquest. So let's start getting to these questions. I'm just going to go from this top, and let me adjust my stuff here real quick. Again, I'm getting used to the new setup. I'm just going to go in order here, just start asking some questions, and we'll just get the opinion. Now, if I ask somebody a question, the panel knows they can all jump in afterwards and give their 2 cents. It's an open discussion, so let's rock and roll. All right, it looks good, and looks like Nightbot is working, thank God. All right, let's see here from, our first question is from Buzzsaw. It says, question: since corporations make decisions based primarily on data, is there any way to determine whether the angry mod rhetoric is actually flowing through to logins, time in game, and sales? Well, we'll never get that information. Nev, what do you think?
We'll ever get that kind of information.
We really won't. I mean, there's no way for us to tell. I mean, all our stuff is anecdotal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to quite a few players this week that quit, and these are high Krakens. There were some other ones as well.
I spoke with a patron of our show yesterday. Quit. He
Yeah.
just posted in the shard chat, "I'm quitting today, guys." So I was quickly got onto him in DMs. I'm like, "Dude, really? You quitted? You're like a heavy whale, big account." And he's like, "Yeah, I always said that if I wasn't having fun, I was going to quit. So I sold my account. I'm gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Gone. Just out."
Yeah, and I had a couple messages like that, like, "Do you know where I can sell my account?" Or, "I'm quitting," and I'm like, "Are you really?" Like, "Oh no." I was like, I don't know, but there's I gave him a couple sides, so I'm like, "I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving." Not that they're just leaving; they're selling their accounts. It's not like they're taking a break or something. I mean, they're checked out. They're done. Like they're like they don't want to play the game anymore. I was like, damn, that's not good. So it's anecdotal. We'll never see the data that CG has, even when thus that are testers and stuff that talk to them. They're gonna tell us the data. We just give them our thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. So
I'm sure that's data they get. Any technical company that has a game, you got to do like quarterly reports and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sure they're seeing it. But the pro con thing to the selling the accounts is technically the account is still around.
That's
so
true.
It's not going to count as like a loss unless the person who gained the account doesn't match the spending money.
Yeah.
So in that perspective, it might not see much difference, but you'll see it. There's other ways of gaining feedback as well.
Absolutely. All right. Next question will go to Warrior. This is a really good one because from What Else Under 3 says, question: what's the current big bad team for Lord Vader with no ultimate?
It really depends on whether you're using him for offense or defense with no ultimate. I think on defense, you just want to really bunch him out with a bunch of tanks and just make it a real tanky team and hope for a timeout and make for a really annoying team to go up against. And, hope at a minimum, if you're, doing the Grand Arena, you're stripping banners and or timing out. Because no ultimate. But if you're going on offense and using him, you can do the multiple tank thing to try to do that. But really, it's better to probably bring in Thrawn so you can have a little bit more control and replace one of those tanks. So that way you can kind of be a little more targeted in your approach. So that's really my suggestion. But Piet needs to be on there really once he gets the ultimate. But you can remove him when he doesn't have his ultimate because Piet's really only there for the ultimate to really TikTok that ultimate up fast. So that's the idea. And then just really quick on that previous conversation, while we won't see the data of all that information, for every one person that quits, 3 people start playing today.
I know.
And fresh spenders always spend like 5 to 1. $5 to every $1 for a whale.
True.
I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Because they're new to the game, they're excited, and so they tend to buy far more than they should in accidental spending, and then they learn over time and start to kind of pull back on their spending. So it's unfortunate, but people are going to spend a lot more up front and then realize, oh, those are bad packs, and then I shouldn't have bought that $1,300 pack for 5 shards. Crap. You know what I mean? Like, or a 1,300 crystal pack for 5 shards. They learn those lessons, but you have to learn those lessons, right? We all kind of do. And so it's one of those things that are kind of bought over time, but they're going to get a lot of data over this, and they are going to learn learn, definitely. What they're going to learn is how many refreshes. They're going to pay very close attention. How many refreshes is the average that people are using? How far, I hate the word, but penetration people are getting in this, because they're going to very closely pay attention to how far people are getting in, and as far as the average goes, the tip of the spear, all that kind of stuff, they're going to see, and they're probably actually going to see that people didn't get as far as they thought they were going to get, even though you're seeing on YouTube and Twitch and all this other people getting a lot further, and it looks like, oh, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be. That you're talking about the tip of the spear. I mean, it still took Arnold 11 days or 9 days or whatever, and he's a 9 million account. That's crazy. So when they look at the data, I'm sure they're going to realize, we are making it kind of unfun. I think if they play their own game, which they do try a little bit, they'll realize they're going to have to do something with that, and they're going to see a drop off with the data. I'm hoping that they pay really close attention and realize that there's some tweaks that are going to need to be made. So after these 3, I do hope, I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic that they'll make some tweaks after these 3.
I am too. The thing that we have before that we didn't have for a while is communication. We have direct communication with them, and well, when I say we, but content creators and other people in the community do have direct access to them and can voice their concerns and tell them what's good and bad, and they're listening. So, all right, let's go to Hoinsey. Who did we lose?
Yes, sir.
Did we lose the Nav? We did lose the Nav. The Nav had to get some more coffee and hit the wrong button. Well, let me answer this one from Kane77 real quick. He says, question, pork chops or Akbar calamari for dinner tonight? For me, neither. It's going to be scrambled eggs with hot sauce. Okay. Here's a really good suggestion question here, Heinze. Get your thoughts on it from Buzzsaw. This question, can we just send the next 2 conquests if we max the first one? Wouldn't that be something? How about that idea?
Happen.
What do you think of that?
That won't happen. No, that won't happen.
Yeah, but
I
would
like
you
the
like
idea
it?
though.
Yeah,
I like the idea, but that won't happen.
Well,
they want to make it as hard as possible for you to get more.
Yeah,
straight up. And that's what it's all about, guys. For the end players, and obviously they want to make it more difficult to unlock Commander Tano for those trying to achieve that as well. I mean, these are new characters in the game, and they don't want to give it away. They want you to earn it. Don't make no mistake about that. So I don't see us getting a sim button anywhere soon for conquests. I think the best plan of attack is to certainly get some changes when possible. It's not going to happen this time. We're going to grind this one out again. I think there's a better chance maybe for the one after that. But yeah, you're going to have to earn it, guys. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. And if you fall short, that means it's another month. You don't have Maul or you don't have Cat. That's what they want, because they don't want you to get it instantly anymore. I think that's been proven.
All right. I like it. All right. Next question. I've got to figure this one out first. Hang on, Kate. Nathan H. says, question, if you have a full team with Sith, which Sith do you like to use with him? I do not have a decent armor. What the hell? Full team of Sith with Sith armor?
Must
what?
Be C.
Okay. I was going to say, what the hell?
Sith Eternal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Don't ask me anything that deals with
I got something for you, Kate. So, Aldous, we'll go to you on this one. If you have this. He says, if you have a full team of Sith for C, which Sith do you like to use with him? I do not have a decent armor. So, I've seen lots of variations on C. I mean, it's not even armor. Sometimes I do see armor on offense to use against my Rey or something. But it's always been like Watt and like I'm just talking arena. I'll see Watt with like Revan, Bastila, Malik, or Bastila, Revan, 2 tanks, something along those lines where they're fast. They get C up to his ultimate, and that's the thing. So I mean. Is there anything you see variations of that? All this?
No, so I have to be truthfully. I unlocked C today on my stream. I got my final. He's my 4th GL, so I unlocked him today.
Good.
So I have literally no idea. The only feedback I have about C is that I rarely see him in my arena ever.
Oh.
He's never on offense. No one ever. So to me, I always class either C with armorer on on offense, or just C with just rubbish Sith. And he's sticking with the B team Sith that are left over. And I don't know anyone really that has C that uses them as their primary team for offense. So if you're talking about GAC, I'd have C with just trash, or I'd have him in offense with armor, but probably offense with armor would be my shout.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, since Kenobi's come out, C and Kylo have both in Arena have dropped off the face of the earth. So, because Kenobi can solo C by himself. So, I mean, and you can't, it's really hard to beat. You know, oh, we just lost Kate. I saw the tree trunk and then she disappeared. All right. So,
and I would say just on what we were just talking about, I would rather stick with the current feats than them twist and give me new feats. The fact that they gave me impossible feats with removing 700,000 energy or, TM, stuff like that. So even though the stuff I have are 14 repetitive, at least they're possible. So
yeah.
I'd prefer they stuck rather than twisted. And on the other point that Ranger was talking about, I think the thing that probably damages them most is maybe the barometer on Twitch and the barometer on YouTube is they have lost a lot of people that were advertising their game and making it look fun and exciting. They now have people out there who are actively highlighting things in the game that aren't good. And therefore, I think that probably has a bigger effect on the CG mentality than anything else, than any numbers. Because certainly that sort of bad press. I think somebody put in chat about Marvel Strike Force dropping on the game score. I think that probably has a bigger effect than any numbers or drop off in numbers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, if the CG is still making a profit, they're still making a profit. However, you have to think about the game long term and its health long term. You have to think about, you know all these new people, but can you keep them engaged and stuff? So there's still a lot of stuff and a lot to do in this game that needs to be adjusted and stuff. I mean, they've done a lot of good stuff, but I mean, there's been, I think it's been it was like a combination of things. First, it was the nerfs, and people weren't too happy about that, and then the requirements for Executor and Lord Vader were really, really steep, and then you've got this new Conquest, and it's been like this cascading thing. So we'll see how it plays out a bit.
I have to say I'm in a good place. I mean, like I've just got Cat, I've just got C, I've just got Bo-Katan. I'm in a place, and kind of it's a very much perspective game, I think, which a lot of people maybe kind of appreciate, is that it's where you are versus where you think you could be. And it's maybe not as bad for the people that are just under the tip of the sphere as the people that are at the top, who are striving for the new stuff and seeing that stuff taken away from them.
Yeah. All right.
I will say real quick, just on
go.
that though. He's saying the people that are at the tip of the spear, it's bad, but people under the tip of the spear, maybe it's not that bad, or vice versa, or whatever. But I will say I have a lot of friends who have just recently quit the game, who were like mostly free to play. They were like light spenders that they quit because they didn't see any hope in sight. Yeah. And that's even with all the new recent updates, with all the now this character is a year old, so they get double drops and blah 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 blah. It's because there's just so much now. There's so many characters, there's so many modes, there's so much to do, there's so much time investment, and it's still, I mean, I've got a friend that's been grinding for gas for over a year for one character, and he's truly free to play, and people are like, free to play 3 months, shut up. He's doing it truly free to play, and it's over a year, and he's still working on that one character, and I'm watching him, and he is, and it's been a tough grind, and he just gave up. He's like, if I can't get gas in 1 year, F the game. And it's like, I hear him. Now, he isn't in the absolute world's best guild. It's a decent 200 million guild, but it's like, I felt for him. I was like, just stick it in there. But it's like, if somebody doesn't enjoy the game, my mantra's always been, if you're not enjoying yourself, quit, So he followed my advice, and I just kind of felt bad, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to have their own reasons for why they stop playing the game. I mean, it's just this way it goes. And, I've heard it. We've all heard it here a million times. Oh, the game's dying, all this stuff. The game is not dying. I mean, you talk about the amount of new players that are coming in. It's a buttload. But
What I think, though, is they should always be doing every single year, and they haven't done this in a while, they should always be doing something to involve improvement of the game that isn't involving money for them, that is like the double drops thing they did last year. That was a great thing where they're like, okay, characters over a year are going to get twice at the charts. They should also be doing that for gear. They should say, you know, all that initial gear is getting twice the drops. Instead of, you know, 3 for a Mark 1, it's now going to be 6 for a Mark 1 or whatever, you know, because we're going to improve that. Or, you know, now we're going to increase the mod cap. I mean, these are things that they should be looking at every quarter, that they integrate into their game plan, even though it doesn't make them any money, because it's the right thing to do for their game health. And they don't do that enough. And that's the problem. And people see that. And so that's the one opportunity they definitely have. That would be a huge improvement, is if they integrated some of that small stuff. And I know that it takes away from the other aspects of the game that they're working on, but they need to, they need to focus on that.
Yeah, but you can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. You know, I mean, they've got the resources. But I do know it takes a while to make big changes. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Warrior. All right. Next question will go to Calvin Awesome. From Wen Griffey Jr. says, question, I've had my characters ready for Rey for a month or two, just waiting on the ship. I was going to use my crystals to buy Radis to 5 stars, but I have a 4-star executor. Should I stick to the plan?
Ouch. Okay.
That's a tough one.
No, it is. So, okay, but where is the cutoff? Like, do your crystals get you a 7-star executor? Like, that's because that matters.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. If you can't get him to 7 stars, then I'd finish Radis. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Calvin.
I would too. Like, if you've already made that long of an investment in Rey and you're just sitting in it and you're gonna wait until you get the 25,000 crystals or whatever to finish up Executor, you're looking at several more months of not getting to use a Galactic Legend that you've already worked for. If you already have that many crystals, you can get 7-star Executor today, I would probably do it and then just take the Holdo grind. But if you're just looking at dropping however many crystals to get to 5 or 6 stars, no. Like you lose both. You don't get the 7-star Executor,
right,
and you don't get the Galactic Legend.
And Rey is the queen of GAC. Let me just tell you, folks. I have faced so many people that do not have Rey, and that young lady.
I imagine your matchmaking is a nightmare, because if you're arguably Rey, in my opinion, is the best GL to the worst requirement ratio. And if you're having to carry around all of that without actually having her, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah,
GC wise.
Yeah, get Rey. Lock it in. Stay on target, Wen Griffey. All right, next question. We'll go back to the Nev from Rid ABD. Says question, and this is to everybody. They're going to ask, how do you guys think Dad Bod Boba Fett will enter the game as Conquest, GL, or Legendary event?
Legendary. We'll get 5 marquees from the Book of Boba, and then we'll get a Legendary event, just like we did with the Mandalorian TV show. We got 5 Mando characters as marquees, and then we got Bam as the Legendary. They'll do Dad Boba in the exact same way, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Warrior, what do you think? Conquest, GL, or Legendary event?
It'll be a Galactic Legend, because we
with you. That's my guess. Yeah,
that many Galactic Legend quality characters. They really don't.
Not until they start pulling from Legends, right? I mean, right. Yeah. So yeah, if they're going to stick,
there's a huge universe out there, and so yes, but they're going to really have to start digging, because I mean, we hold certain characters at certain levels in our mind, and if they start taking characters, you know, and elevating them to a certain level, we're going to be like, what? Come on now. So, but we do hold him in esteem, so we would be okay with that as fans, and they know that. So we'd be okay with that.
Yeah, my guess was the next 2 GLs are going to be some form of Leia. And Boba Fett were going to be the next 2. One for Rebels.
I agree.
Rebels, and one for Bounty Hunters. So who disagrees? Heinz, you disagree? Or you think there's going to be Conquest, a Legendary event like Nev said, like we got for Bammy, or a Galactic Legend?
Yeah, I've been saying for 6 months it'll be Galactic Legend. It'll be Gaffy stick hits, charge up the old change into
so
Dad Bod.
So good.
The knee rockets with the armor on. The knee rockets just doing an AoE and wiping every mofo out. That's how I see it.
I just say take him to ship because he can take ships out. So with his rocket. Calvin, what do you think?
I think not Conquest, but I think it's very possible, depending on how many seasons of this Book of Boba Fett we get, if there are intended to be more, we're going to get more than one. What they might do is similar to Bad Batch before the series actually came out. They gave us a marquee character from what we had already seen. So I think we might get some type of like maybe marquee or maybe legendary for like the first iteration, kind of the one that appeared in season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Sure.
And then once the character matures more, we get the Galactic Legend version with whatever, because like Warrior was saying, they're kind of running out of Galactic Legend worthy characters, and Boba fits the bill. Everybody knows who he is. He is going to be super powerful. He's taken the place of Jabba the Hutt. He has a lot of character development. There's more than enough other versions of him that they could use in an event. It depends on where the story goes, but I think there's potential for 2.
I can see that. That makes sense. And Aldous, what do you think? If you had to put money on it, Conquest, GL, or Legendary event?
Definitely not GL.
Okay.
I mean, based on The Mandalorian, I think if CG had a future vision of what Disney were doing in the Book of Boba or The Mandalorian far enough in advance, then the child or BAM would have been a GL. Because they were nailed on, but they ended up just being a standard-ish character launch. I think it's taking them 6 months to plan a GL, and therefore I think they're going back to the standard canon that everybody knows, because it's easier for them. So I put money on a GL Leia or a GL Chewbacca. We probably just, I'd put it on something else. I'd even put it on a GL OG Boba, rather than a modern Boba from Book of Boba Fett. So I could fully see 5 marquees from the new Book of Boba dropping, but the GL being the existing souped up Boba.
All right. There you go. Those are opinions. Nev, another question from Meow Meow real quick before I go to Warrior. From Meow Meow, this question, is Nev a dingo now that he's been in direct guild contact with Durgan Gurgan?
Oh yeah, I was unaware I was going into the same guild as Durgan, so I now have to put up with his antics, not just in chat, but on Discord as well. So it's like,
you have done this yourself.
He did the reverse Homer Simpson. So I'm looking on the chat, and then all of a sudden it's just Homer Simpson coming out of the bush, and I'm like, oh god, okay, this is gonna be interesting.
All right, let's go to Warrior for the next question. Buzz us this question. Better yet, how about allowing us to get max reward if we got it the first time and complete all 5 phases? Oh, this is a follow-up to that other question. I think we kind of covered this one.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. You got to earn it.
You two real quick, Warrior says, question, does Warrior have any OnlyFans?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to join to find out. They're only $9.99. You too can find out.
Warrior After Dark.
Hello, baby. My name's Warrior. I can sell your bed and then break it in for you. You know what I'm saying, girl?
It's pretty funny.
All right, let's get to a serious question, though. Those were some fun ones. Will fell for you, Warren. I'm going to get everybody's concerns on this. He says, if our concerns are not addressed when the next set of 3 Conquests comes out, will we be into 2022 before more changes can come? So half the time it's been trash. What should we have? They're pretty quick on this stuff, but go ahead, Warrior.
Yeah, so with Conquest, because it's their current baby,
they're
going to be pretty fast. You've already seen they've been communicating, they've been changing, they've been updating, and the proof's in the pudding, right? You've already seen the communication on the forums, the changes that are being implemented, change by change in between. I mean, they only had 4 days in between, and they already did a post, and they already did some changes. Like, they are on top of this. So that's because this is their like little baby. So this is going to be something that they're going to be paying attention to. The rest of the game's probably going to be ignored, and they're going to have like one little team on like the next thing that's down the pipeline, so that they're going to be working on, because they got to have something continuation, of the game. But this is one of those things where we can be upset, but the game ebbs and flows. There's times where the community hates on them, and we hate what's going on, and we're angry as all get up. But then they start to do things right for a little while, and then we're happy again. And then they make things terrible, and you know, all I have to do is remind you 2 years ago, right? We went an entire year without communication and without new content. Like literally all we got for 1 year, 2 years ago, was some characters. That was it. A couple of characters. That's why I quit. There was no communication, no new content, nothing. Just a couple of characters. Here, buy some characters. That was it, and that was really bad. So I mean, I do hate saying though, like it could always be worse, but that's a really terrible thing to say, but it can always be worse. I just think it ebbs and flows. I feel like right now we're kind of in a flow of terribleness where they're kind of doing the wrong things because sometimes the money gets involved and people from the higher up say, this is what you're going to do. And it controls some of their decision making. And I'm sure there are some people that work at actual Capital Games that say, oh shit, we don't want to do that, you know, but we have to, so we're going to go ahead and do that to appease the people above that require that. But you know, then they want to get back to the creative aspect of what they want to do, because ultimately they control the creative aspect of the game, but they are given direction. And then EA has a joint partnership with them as far as the monetization aspect of it, and tells them, you know, packs and things like this is how we're going to do it. Now they can create packs and send it to EA for approval, and there's some creative aspect in that, but ultimately EA kind of chops those up and sends them back like, no, you're going to do it this way. So when you see a terrible pack value, it's an EA design because they sent in a pack and it was chopped up and sent back with a worse value. So, you know, when you see something that you probably don't like, there's probably EA's fingerprints on it, unfortunately. So we've got to remember that, and remember that Capital Games is the creative value behind it, and they're stunted at times by EA. So it's, you know, sometimes we misplace our frustrations, and I just want to remind everybody that as well. I'm not trying to be the big defender of Capital Games.
No, but you're just being real. You're just being real. Listen.
I just think people don't understand the full relationship between EA and Capital Games, and have to understand that, you know,
there's a lot of moving parts
with Capital Games because sometimes they don't communicate and things like that. But at the same time, EA does have a really big influence on things as such as poor pack values, or you know, certain content that is forced into the game at times, you know, like POW was a or Bodhi Rook. Bodhi Rook was an absolute mandatory EA ad that they did not want to add into the game, but it was this is what you're going to do because the movie says we're bringing these characters into the game and you will build these characters for the game. And so they you know, had to build them. So it was like, that's why we have Bodhi Rook, you know what I mean? Like, okay. So anyway, just so everyone understands, there is, you know, there's a relationship going on here behind the scenes that we got to have full appreciation of.
Yeah. And can I agree with, I mean, and now we have Disney as well, and Disney is the one doing Book of Boba Fett. So there's now a third partner in this.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There is very complicated. So some people talk about CG, but they are very much in the middle. As Warrior says, they are not making every decision. They're not in charge of the future creative. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is some autonomy that comes to CG when it comes to game modes, things of that nature. But, you know, a lot of these characters you see come in, kind of a little bit of a mandate, things of that nature, packs, you know, but CG just have their input. But, you know, if you've ever worked at and a lot of you have, you know how it is. There's a lot of politics and infighting and stuff, like, you know, people disagree all the time about, like, what's the best direction, and, you know, so, yeah. Okay, Hoingsley.
Yes, sir?
This is from Nathan H. This question, other than Jedi Master Kenobi, who can counter Lord Vader? Let's say Max Lord Vader, Ultimate with Maul. Nothing.
Non-ultimate, I believe Gas 501st can take it. I tried that, didn't quite work for me. But I probably didn't have him modded for that because I never intended to use him at the time for it. But I have heard Gas 501st would take down a non-ultimate. But apart from that, load up your Kenobi.
Yeah.
Jedi Master Luke can beat him. If you can, especially if you can get out front. Yeah. Okay. You don't have to have the full arena team. Like, you can swap out someone like Gasper Jolie or something like that. But the not being able, he's one of the few Galactic Legends that doesn't have a way to get around a taunt. So he gets stuck behind Jedi Master Luke
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And you know, I'm excited because next Lightside TB I'll finally have Cam. Adding him to, I can keep Gas 501st and then use Cam for that hard hitting Cam is.
I did that for this Territory Wars for the first time, and boy, is he fun.
Isn't he stupid? He's stupid, man. Oh my god.
So fun.
That triple tap is gross, man. Plus, when you put him on a Jedi team, all those bonuses he gives to the Jedi as well, it's sick. Oh, I'm excited. I've got 3. My life is over for the next 2 months because I've got to get Lord. I'm going to finish up for Lord Vader, get him. Maul's going to be done, and then Cam's going to be done. They're all going to Relic 8 probably. By that time, Relic 9 might be here. I'll go into Relic 9, so I'm going to be like, well, there goes my farm and gear and stuff. Yay! All right. What else? 73 question before I go to Calvin Awesome. Says, what else? 73 says, question, Ranger, you say CG is listening, but can they hear us? Yeah, I can say for a fact. You guys know I have ranted on CG back in the day for the biggest thing, and a lot of us here have. Lack of communication. We felt like we weren't being heard because back in the day, CG would just do stuff and we're like, okay, you know, and we would say stuff in the forums or in our streams and we had no way of communicating. I know CG's listening. I'm talking to CG. When you guys voice your concerns, I'm just one of many that are saying what, you know, on not just stuff that's coming up. Yeah, I'm a tester, but stuff that's already been out. The feedback we're giving them on top of, you know, your guys' feedback with the surveys, they'll ask us about it. We give us their opinions about where we think the state of the game is. So this is why, you know, your guys' feedback matters. Now, that doesn't mean CG is going to listen, but they, you know, and make the change maybe that we want. And let's be real, we're not always right. I mean, I'm a prime example of that, but they are communicating. They are listening. They, you know, they are open to ideas and suggestions. Like, what can we do to make the game better? That's why I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, am I upset with some of the stuff with the Conquest? Yes. But it can be changed. And it can be fixed. And if they listen, and they are listening, and it happens, you guys will see that. Now, you have to be a little bit patient because I'm not a coder or do software or, you know, gaming, that kind of stuff. So I don't know how long it takes. But it does take some time. From what I've been told, you know, some things that you can fix pretty quickly. Some things take, especially if it's on a larger scale, to get done. But they are listening, and they can hear you. They ask about the feedback you guys give. This is what we're seeing. What do you guys think? I mean, these are the kind of conversations we're having. So yes, they are listening, and they can hear us. So when I say really, you know, be constructive. I mean, one thing I can tell you, if you guys go in there and be like, CG is a bunch of tool bags that need to be burnt to the stake, they don't listen to. I mean, who would, you know? I mean, you know. But if you give, you know, if you say I don't like this, but then you say why, and then you give a solution in anything on the forums and or Reddit, and Reddit you really got to filter through before you find the constructive stuff. I know. I was looking the other day. I was like, oh, damn. I was just cracking up. Like, that is the funniest thing ever. You know, I was just laughing because it was so over the top. But then like,
some of it's so delusional.
It's so bad, man. But then you get to some of those.
So bad.
But you get those nuggets in there. You're like, that's really good. You know, that's some good feedback. But oh my God, it's so bad. Yeah, you go to Reddit just you open some bourbon and you're just like, I need to laugh in the next 30 minutes. So, oh goodness. But they are listening. You know, they really are, guys. You know, the two people that are really listening, that really do a lot, and I don't think they get enough credit, is Crumb and Doja. Talk to those guys, especially Crumb, all the time. They are listening, folks. Trust me on this. You know, I mean, and they're really trying to branch out. You may not like what they have to say sometimes, but again, you have to understand their perspective. They can only say so much. I mean, they're the communications, but there's, you know, they can only say what they can say, you know, but, you know, they're reaching out to more people. They're doing more stuff with content creators. They're really trying to expand, you know, access to you guys. They're coming on the content creators because, yeah, they like us, but they're trying to get the word out, and they're trying to listen to you guys and talk to them. I mean, how many times here recently has Crom jumped on all these different streams and just answered questions and dropped some bombs on my ass one day with me and Cubs. I was like, God damn, Crom, I can't say this stuff dirty bastard. You can. That's where the content creator stuff came from. That was Crumb putting that out there, But then, he's been on our stream where he just sat there and answered questions. He may not have always been able to answer, but he at least gave you some sense of what they're thinking and what they're doing. So it's a hell of a lot better than it was. So, yeah. Sorry, I had to go on a little tangent there, but yeah. Heinz, here's your question from Weddle73. It says, question, should they standardize every team on every node, not just the boss fights? Ooh, that's a great question.
Standardize every team on every fight. Sorry. So what, same team right through instead of random?
Yeah, so it says, should they standardize every team on every node, not just the boss fights? I actually think that would be good because, again, we were talking about this on your show Monday. Like, Loki got Tuskens and you and me didn't get Tuskens, and you know, some of those key battles, like I didn't get you notions. I got Night Sisters, or I didn't got Night Sisters with them. And like I didn't get either. I had 2 GR teams. Sucked.
I think it's look. I mean, it's. I don't think that's really the biggest concern as far as what you get along the way, because you're gonna have to make it work anyway. As long as there's a fair blend, depending on which direction you go. That if you need to knock out these feats, then you can get access to them. So yeah, I didn't get Tuskens. I had to do most of my feats on Bad Batch lineups. Not ideal. A lot of other people had Tuskens to knock them out. It was a heck of a lot easier. But I had the data diss on anyway, and I got the job done. So I don't think it's a huge concern. I think it adds to the variety a little bit. Instead of you're going to get people coming out and making one video that covers every single sector and what you should do. Yeah. I mean, I think the whole idea of the variety is that it makes it different for every person going in. So it actually makes it harder to theory craft options that are going to work for you. Absolutely. So I personally don't have a problem with it. I think it's okay. I don't think that's the big issue. The big issue are the grindy feats. And I think if we fix that, I think that, we'll be in a better place. I think that we definitely still need the challenge of feats, but the repetitive ones are the killer. I think that's the thing that's driving everyone mad. The majority of it, anyway. That's my thought. No, it's a good thought. General Milan says, "Hey, Ranger, I met Urs last night in Vegas. Super nice guy." Yeah, we love Urs. Urs is great. The heartthrob from the Outer Rim. Jay Smitty donated $5. Says, "Love the content as always. Thanks for making my Saturday at work more entertaining." Hey, that's what we're here to do. Glad you enjoyed, Jay Smitty. Always glad to have you here, my friend. Next question, we're going to go to Calvin from Big D6. What a name.
I love it. I love it already.
That's a great name. All right, his question says, are the Krakens that are leaving the game quitting because of the grind or because they won't have Maul on day one? You don't have to grind, but you have to know you're not getting a red box. It's not that they can't get Maul. It's the grind. I mean, that's what I'm getting. I don't know what feedback you're getting, but for the people that I've talked to that are like hanging it up, it's not they can't get it, but I mean, the reason Thane said this on the stream the other day. It'd be interesting your thoughts on this. Calvin says, I paid so I don't have to spend that much time in the game. There's certain times I want to spend time in the game, but I want to have all the pizzas so I can just go in and do what I want when I have the time. But I'm a full-time student. I work, I don't mind spending. I spent a fortune in this game, but it's like, I don't have the time commitment that, Conquest does for a character that I need to get, to make my Vader, which I just bought, viable. He's like, I don't have an additional how many hours a week to do, Conquest. What are your thoughts on this question, Calvin? And we'll get everybody else's thoughts.
It's pretty much the same as you said. Like, no Kraken is quitting the game because they can't physically get Maul. Like, if you're a Kraken, you're willing to put however many crystals in to refresh stamina, to buy a new character, to refresh the energy, like you're gonna get it. It's the time investment. And it reminds me a lot of when a few people, I've seen this a few times actually, a few posts on Reddit will ask people like, why do you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on this game when you could go and buy like 10 video game systems? And the person responded like, I'm a heart surgeon. I work 80 hours a week. I want to buy this character for $500. I don't have time to sit down and play a PlayStation 5 for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that obviously can't describe everyone, but I think that is a part of it. Like and it's funny too, because there is this totally other half of the spectrum. I have a friend who doesn't spend really any more, but he was a pretty heavy whale for a long time. And he was even complaining up until Conquest 6 that there just wasn't enough to do in the game. He had everything. He had all the characters. He actually works a pretty strenuous job as well. And that was his big complaint. There's nothing to do. So there is no real balance with it.
Sure.
People are, I think ultimately what Warrior said is true, and it's the most important. People quit because they don't have fun anymore. Whether that because they're not with the people they were with before, maybe the game just isn't for them, or maybe they got their enjoyment out of it and it's done. Like, I don't.
It's
or maybe
different,
the enjoyment
right?
was having everything. Yeah, it is different. Like,
For
I don't
every
think
person.
I can put all the Krakens into one boat and say
No.
this is why.
The thing that they're missing, this is the biggest thing they're missing. In every game that I've ever played, there's only 2 reasons why people spend money. 2 reasons. The first is superficial. I want to buy a skin. I want to buy this. I want to buy that because I want to make something look cool. There's no real value. It's superficiality, right? Oh, that's a cool this. That's a cool that. I just want to make it look superficially neat. And those are like $1 here, $1 there. And those are called micro transactions. And those are not going to make
fills.
Those are fills. The second reason why people spend, this is the greater reason, is I give you money, you accelerate something in the game that takes time. I pay for time acceleration. Oh, that character takes 6 months. Here's money. There's 6 months of time. This conquest does the opposite. I give you money and I still have to spend the exact same amount of time that everybody else does, even if I spend money. So I spend money and now I still have to spend money, like, and time. Like I don't gain any time value on this. And that, for me, I spent all the money. I'm a Kraken, and then on top of that, I had to spend again, forced, and still took me 6 days to do it. Like, so I could free up my schedule so I could have a normal life. Like, that's effed up. You know what I mean? And for someone like Arnold, who's super busy also, he had to do the same thing, and it still took him almost 10 days. You know what I mean? And that's messed up. So he could free up 4 days and not have an insane amount of stuff. They're missing that component. They don't understand. So without them like reanalyzing this and saying, listen, whales and Krakens want to spend money to alleviate the time constraint, which is what he said, Calvin said, this is super important for them to understand. And I think they're missing the forest for the trees. They're going to burn these people who are going to say, I just simply don't have this time. And then they're going to start losing out on stuff they feel entitled to. I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying they will feel that way. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but they'll feel that way. And then they're going to say, you know what? I spent 20,000, I spent 40,000, I spent 100,000, and yet I can't even participate because of time constraints, because I've spent money to speed time up, and I can't even participate in the highest end thing because of time. Yet I tried to speed time up. That just doesn't even make sense. This game doesn't even make sense. Other games, I can accelerate things with time, with money, and this is the only game in the world that I've ever played that's not a possibility. It doesn't make sense. I'm out. So it's just weird.
Yeah,
they don't get that.
Yeah, I just think conquest should be one of the things. Yeah, make it challenging, make it fun, right? But make it to where the person can do it on their own time and still, commit resources to it, but they don't have to be under the pressure. I mean, it took me 9 days to get through Conquest. I mean, literally, and that was with me spinning crystals. And as I said, I have the time. It's not a time thing with me. It was just, I was like, I can't believe I had to spend. It was more like, why do I have to spend so much time on this? This is ridiculous. I had to wake up and, I would do it on the stream, and then at night I'm like, okay, let me go check this real quick. I was like, damn, this is ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm with you.
It's like Heinze said at the start, isn't it? Heinze said it at the start. People are paying for other players to do their conquests. So the alpha consumers that would normally pay the game to speed it up for them are having to pay other players to speed the game up for them, so that when they log in, brilliant. The person that I've paid to do Sector 1 and Sector 2's done it. Great. I don't have to do that. So they do what they would normally do in the game, and then they log off, and then they pay somebody. Great. They've now done Sector 3 and they've done Sector 4. So the Krakens and the alpha consumers that spend thousands on the game, it's money that CG and EA aren't getting, because they're giving that money to other people to get rid of the time crunch.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's hilarious. That is
for
so
the rest
funny.
for the rest of the game, for everything else in the game, they pay CG and EA to remove that time crunch. Now CG ain't getting that money. Other players, other people in the community are getting that money because they just are.
Oh, it's just like hot utils. Like That was something like that has generated so much income for someone who is not CG when CG had the perfect opportunity to do it. Like, yeah.
Yep. All right. Sorry I had to deal with the spammer.
Yeah, what a clown.
Couldn't spell. Kept putting, couldn't spell at all.
No. Well, they've been permanently banned. Enjoy yourself.
If you're out there, you're watching, you're a jerk. Get stuffed.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
That's off, wanker.
Yep.
You tell him, Heinze.
Oh, I hate morons. No one likes
morons.
morons. I mean, seriously, you're a clown. So piss
Heinze
off.
2021. No one likes morons.
Well, no one does. I mean, look, there's a lot of other words I want to use. If I was on my stream, I'd be letting rip. But seriously, I'm trying to hold back. But if you're out there, you're a clown. Yeah. No one likes clowns. Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
No, it's fine. You said more than
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was worth it. All right, next question. Who did we just go to? Warrior? I lost track. Oh, we're on Heinze. Okay. Neo Venom says, question. This is 2 parts. I'm going to read all this. Heinze, we'll get into it. He says, question, not really. In my opinion, CG doesn't really listen in the true sense of the word. If they truly listened, then Executor would exist in the game, and we would have normal ships to be able to have full fleets for the capital ships we already have, and we'd have ships saved fleets. No, I agree that ships there need to be more standardized ships coming into the game. Ships is kind of a mess, right? But that doesn't, just because they haven't brought in certain ships, that doesn't mean that they're not actually listening. I mean, I don't know. What do you think on that point from Neo Venom, Heinze?
Well, I want to ask a question in a minute to everyone else. Do we think this shipload of content is still coming, or do you think we've had it now?
It better. I'm gonna look stupid.
I think we're in the middle of it. I think we're in the middle of it. I think them putting it into challenges is like right the heart of it. I think they're eventually going to throw it in Conquest. They said we're going to get more marquees. I don't know if it's going to be what we want it to be, but I don't think it's not over.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not even by the highest sense of the word.
Yeah. Look, I've got Executor. I've got it maxed out. I'm fortunate to have that, and it's pretty stupid right now because I've been in rank 3 in Fleet Arena for a straight week. I have not moved. That's not right. It's just not right. With that being said, there are counters out there that are taking Executor down. It's not unbeatable. You won't get it maybe in one shot.
Yeah,
sometimes you can.
2 shots.
2 shots, you'll get it quite consistently.
Yep.
Using 2 fleets. So whilst it's OP, and it absolutely is. I had a feeling that it was going to be, so I made sure I was ready for it. But I don't think it's as bad as it could be. But look, maybe in time we'll get something like, and again, I'm only speculating. I know absolutely nothing, guys. I don't speak to CG, but we could get something along the lines of Red 5 that slots in an Akbar team that rips at a new one. We just don't know yet. So let's, we have to see if there's more stuff coming yet. Maybe this has been released to get an advantage at this point, but I think it'll only be a matter of time that we'll see a viable option as far as the counter coming. I just don't know how long that will be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like ships has been the redheaded stepchild of this game for a while. I mean, it's like
has been,
so, but we'll see. They did say they're going to do work on it. They did say we're going to get more content and stuff. So let's by the end of the year, Neo Venom, if they haven't done anything, then we can go back in, and then your statement is, I think, a little bit more valid, because then you can see by the end of the year, by December, we haven't had more ships and some other stuff like drastic, and I mean big stuff for ships. I mean, if all we got for this year for shipload of content was Executor and Razor Crest, then I will definitely be on your bandwagon.
I think the issue with that is that they made a point of it. I think that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, that's the issue, because they came out flat out and said, right, shipload of content, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're going to be working hard on ships in one way, shape, or form. And 2 ship releases, that ain't enough.
Yep,
unfortunately.
All right, next question to Calvin. Question from Ray Rock says, I will be unlocking Executor today. The relic signal and scrap farm has been a challenge because of all the high relic requirements for GLK farm. How do you all farm them faster? You have any good tips there, Calvin? And anybody else can jump in afterwards of like where you farm for stuff. Oh boy.
The signal data or the relic salvage or both?
I think you could cover all this and it's all poopy.
Okay. Well, the thing you need to do, and this is what a lot of people are turning to, regardless of kind of where they're at, is you need to be putting, if you have this income, you need to be putting the 300 crystal refreshes into Cantina every single day.
Yeah.
That is the best metric. There's no better metric to do it. So you refresh the 100 3 times. Go in there, get whichever one you need. That should be first and foremost, and that is probably the only free to play way to do it. Because anything else that we're going to be able to suggest, you're going to actually have to start putting in money.
Yeah.
The next place that you need to go is the shipments. After you spend the 100 crystal refreshes, the shipments become better. And I don't do this a lot because I don't have this amount of crystals to spend, but there's one of them that's bad. There's one that you don't want. Like someone did the math on the drop rates and the crystal price. I want to say the green one is the one you don't want to buy in shipments. The other two are fine. The green one you don't. Someone can correct me on that if they want to.
I think you're right.
And then as far as the relic salvage goes, I mean, there's charts everywhere. Like I don't have the names engraved in my head about which ones are which, but there's charts everywhere for the relic salvage. Because I could spend probably about 2 minutes on each one. I think the first two is just like it is what it is. Like you buy what you need to there. The third one, I want to say there's a really cheap cantina. It's like 100 cantina for 5 pieces. That is like 300 relic salvage. It's really good. The fourth one is completely holo projectors. The fifth one is just whatever gear 12 gear you have, and the last one's brutal. I mean, there's really no way around it. I know a lot of people started spending get 1 on bayonets. Now that we're pretty sure no other characters coming in there, that helps with that grind.
Oh, I do it religiously. I mean, like this doing Lord Vader's requirement, the amount of bayonets you need for these and gold furnaces is just oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing then, as far as the relic salvage goes, a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people do this, but again, refreshing your fleet energy 3 times every single day to be able to get some of the salvage that's needed for the Zimbittles, that makes a huge difference. And again, the first 3 sets of refreshes for pretty much all 4 energies, 95% of the time come out cheaper than anything you will find in shipments. Like there's a very few exceptions, like golden eyeballs.
Yeah. All right, Nathan H., I do see some of your fun questions in here, but we are starting to get closer to we got about 35 minutes left and stuff, so I want to get to some of these other questions here. So we'll go to Aldous next. Let me see here. Nathan H. always has a lot of silly questions, but some of them are fun. Yeah. Dom Toretto says, question, if Leia is a GL, will they make us Relic 7 Phoenix and Ewok so there is no GMO requirement overlap? Of course they will. Aldous, yeah. I mean,
I can sim that answer. I'll just hit the sim button. Yeah, of course it's Ewok. But we might get like a 5th or 6th marquee Ewok before they start that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It becomes a bit of a meme at this point, but yeah, 100%. It is the people you don't have.
Rogue One, Akbar.
Sure.
Yeah.
And these are characters that are crucial to the start of the rebellion, and I mean that's who Leia is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Rebels. I mean, young Leia was in Rebels. People forget about that. So
she was in Rogue One.
Yeah. So,
but to pick up, yeah, I do think that, and I touched earlier on, I do think that the GLs will come from the OG content, more than the new content. So I think a GL Leia might be on the cards to complete the pack. Possibly would be and maybe a GL. I'm going to throw the cat amongst pigeons. But maybe a Jabba the Hutt was exactly what I was going to say. That would be the pair I would do.
That would be perfect.
I'd be where my money was.
Be Thrawn next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and plus we have all these new shows next year coming from Disney. So we're going to have all that content. Book of Bubba will start us off at the end of this year at December, but then we have the upcoming Ahsoka series and the Kenobi series and just all this
season
stuff.
3 Mandalorian.
Yeah, season 3 Mandalorian. So I mean, there's that animated Disney.
Acolyte.
Oh God, that animated Japan. Oh, just can't
Visions.
Oh, Visions.
Yes, I can't. I'm just salivating thinking of watching that. It looks so good. I'm just like, oh, I love anime and Star Wars. You put them together, that's a win. That's a happy Ranger sandwich right there. All right. Let's see. Nav. Let's see. Matthew 1908 says, question, speaking of Relic 9, this was announced for end of August, subject to change. With current situation and frustration, there seems to add even more, or any other reason to drag this out so long. I don't know what. Let's speculate, Nav. Relic 9 was supposed to be here sooner. It's being pushed back, it seems like. Probably because they're dealing with a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah. I can't see them bringing in. I mean, I would. November, December, maybe. I don't think there's any chance of them doing it. There's too much on their plate at the moment. I think there's too much on their plate at the moment, and I can see them pushing out Relic 9 until maybe November, maybe possibly even December. But I would go with November or December as a more likely time for them to do Relic 9 as opposed to this month or even next month. It's just too soon. It really, really is. They need to deal with the retention problem that they have at the moment with a lot of people leaving, and to dump Relic 9 on our plate this month or next month isn't going to help the game regarding retaining alpha consumers and whales and krakens and dolphins and stuff like that, because there are still lots of people trying to Relic 8 characters, and then they introduce Relic 9 all of a sudden. Well, obviously not all of a sudden, but you know what I mean. They introduce it into the game too soon, and it'll scare a bunch more people off. So I think they'll push it out to November, maybe December. I hope.
Yeah, we'll see. Even if it came in October, like, okay, that's fine. I mean, we're almost there, so we get in October. I mean, a couple months afterwards, but I mean, we'll get it when we get it. I mean, so. All right, next question to Warrior from Navju says, question, what do you think Squad Arena will look like when Ultimate Lord Vader with Maul is in the wild? Parity between Vader and JMK, or will Vader dominate? Warrior.
I think he put B right back in chat.
Did he? Okay. Then we'll go to Hoinsey on that one.
Sorry, what was the question again, mate? I wasn't listening because I didn't think it was for me.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense. Now
I was listening.
Yeah, thank you, Aldous.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Aldous. I was just trying to go to Hoinsey's next up, but sometimes he wants to give Dingleberry.
I actually think, pay attention. I think the top end of the shard chats and the shards are more sensitive to the game than CG. So I think we will see people with Lord Vader and Maul. They'll put it on. They'll go to number 1 when it's their time, and then they'll put a worse team on, and they'll drop back. That's my thoughts. I think the shard chats are more sensitive.
I don't think Vader's going to dominate, because here's the reason why. I mean, top end, it comes down to speed, and it depends on what mods you have. You can have the best characters in the world, but I mean, Cat goes first, your host. I mean, it's just the way it is. If Maul goes first, but the AI is not the smartest, it's pretty good about going after Ahsoka to make sure she doesn't get her execute off, or I don't think Vader's going to dominate, because it's going to come down to speed. And if you can outspeed their Maul, then on defense you go first. Well, Royal Guard's dead, so it's 4 and 5, and that really hampers the team, because it takes Vader longer now to get ramped up. And so, yeah, but it's organic. It'll take time to work itself out. But yeah, all right. We'll go to Hoinsey.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Who seems like he's paying attention now. First question from Ashavon says, question, why isn't Hoinsey drinking Foster's?
Because it tastes like. That's why. I only do it on special occasions and stuff, and when people dare me to do it if I lose a bet.
Yeah.
That's about it.
When Australia lose the Ashes.
Not going to happen, you clown.
Five
Not
tests in a row.
Freaking happen. Talk it up now while you still got a chance because the game hasn't started yet. That's all I'm going to say. Straight up.
And then
looking forward to it, Nev. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Serious question now, Heinzie. Psycho Drums' question. CG knows we use airplane mode. Quality of life needed. Raids equals accept, reject, score options after raid attempt. Yes.
Sorry. Sorry. It was just a bit quick. Sorry. What was the bit at the end?
It says CG knows we use airplane mode. Quality of life that's needed. Raids equals accept or reject, score option after raid attempt.
Yeah. That makes sense. Instead of going back, I like it. I mean, my raids are done in like 20 minutes. Doesn't matter which one it is. I don't get much of a chance to go back and have a crack at it. So, I could go back, but it won't matter because it'll be over. That's the thing with my particular guild anyway, or any sort of higher end, really strong guild. They got people out there just wrecking raids now, left, right, and center. So
I just put it on auto. It's like Kenobi, go in the Sith raid. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, it's at that point now. So I mean, the raids, unfortunately, they're not broken, but they're really pretty dead. Apart from the challenge rank or the pit one, where you still have to do that manually to get good rewards and scores. The other ones are like a bit ho-hum now, let's be honest. Yeah. The sooner they sim the Sith raid, the better. That's been broken from the start. Right. So
second to that.
Time. Yeah.
All right, Durgan question, is Ahsoka jealous that she isn't in the same guild as Vincil, Nev, and myself? Meow. No, because she's in the same guild with me and I trump all you fools. All right, let's see here. Next question will go to Calvin Awesome. This is a great question. We can add this from Nathan H, and everybody can jump on this. He says, question, how important is dolphin spinning? I quit spinning as a dolphin. Great question. How important do you think dolphin spending in this game? Calvin, and everybody else can get their opinion too if you want.
It's important, but the game doesn't die. As long if you, I don't know, I'd have to see actual numbers to see the amount of dolphins that are actually there, because dolphin spending is only important in large quantities, like one dolphin to one kraken. Obviously, the dolphin, your spending means nothing. But if you want to compare 1,000 dolphins to one kraken, it means something. So I'd have to see what numbers are actually putting into that. But I mean, it's the same way. It's the same. Dolphins are at the very least are still just as important because as free to play are. Like the Krakens, kind of what Warrior was saying before. The Krakens or the whales. They're putting money into the game to accelerate things faster than who? The people who don't. And that would be the free-to-play or the Dolphins or whoever. So they obviously pay their part. I'm not saying they're not important, they're not valid or anything like that. But as far as like CG paying the bills, I would have to see numbers to see how, like what actual difference they're making, because it can't be. I've seen some of what Krakens have spent in the game, and some of it is absolutely ridiculous. Like one Kraken can spend as many as over 100 Dolphins.
Yeah. Combined,
there's guys I know that have spent over 100K.
Yeah,
easy.
Same.
Yeah, and that's just gonna blow. And I mean, 1,000 dolphins right out of the water. Like that is. And again, like everyone can do whatever they want with their money, but that really does like say that maybe dolphin spending really doesn't. It's not gonna make or break the game.
No, it's not. I mean, free to play obviously isn't. I mean, everybody's different, and everything does matter to CG at some level, right? For free to play, they want the experience to where you've got to have that good free to play base. You got to have people playing the game that are engaged, right?
You have to have a community. You have to have something to have an advantage over someone. Like the free to play community is important.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody's different at the level where they are in the game, so everybody's experience is different. So there's a lot of factors when it comes into that. All right. Anybody else? Dolphin spending, or are we going to move on?
Yeah,
go ahead, Nev.
I think I'm just a consumer because I'm free to play, but the customer experience in the game is really, really important.
True.
And I mean, for the exact same reasons that Calvin's just pointed out, that CG are going to care more about what the Krakens want than what the Dolphins want. If a Dolphin's spending $20-30 a month, but the Krakens are spending like a couple of thousand a month, then yeah, they're going to pay more attention to the Krakens. But retaining that dolphin spending and maybe even potentially increasing it, I don't know what would be between a dolphin and a whale, killer whale. They still need to keep a hold of those guys to make that, so here's a group of 1,000 dolphins and here's another group of 1,000 dolphins. If those groups of 1,000 dolphins start dropping off the map, then they need to, replace them with another Kraken or another whale. So retaining the dolphins and giving value for money for the dolphins is just as important. That's one of the reasons why I hope at some point in the not too distant future, they really, EA and CG really pass back savings on, and they come up with another way for people to make in-app purchases other than through the Apple Store, because they're not contractually obligated to do so anymore. So I really hope that 30% chunk that they no longer have to give Apple gets passed, because that could turn dolphins into killer whales. It's like, if a dolphin is spending $50 to $100 in the game, but they're getting 30% more, they might think, well, I'll spend, I'll spend a little bit more, because that little bit of spending goes a little bit further in the game. So yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Am I naive to say that, do we really think that they're going to pass the 30% back? Like, am I naive thinking, really, is that going to happen? Why would they? It makes no sense for them to do that.
The what? I'm sorry, the 30%?
If something costs $30 now, and they make the same pack cost $20, the person that was going to spend 30 on that pack is still going to spend. Is still going to buy that pack, but then they might still think to themselves, well, hang on a minute, I could get 2 packs for 40. So they'll think, I'll buy 1 pack, 30 is my pinch point, but they might think, you know what? It's only $20 for that pack now. Sod it, I'll buy 2. So instead of spending 30 on the 1 pack, which is kind of in between, they might spend 40 on 2 packs. Or they might say, I want that pack, or I want that pack. I'm not sure, that's 30, that's 30. But if they're knocking, $10 off, if they're knocking that 30 off, that spender might think, well, it's only 20 for that and 20 for that. I'll buy them both. I mean, it could go the other way. There could be spenders that think, I was only going to buy that pack. Thank you for making it $10 less. But then there will be customers that think, I wanted that pack and that pack, but I could only afford one or the other. Now they've made it a little bit cheaper. I can buy both, and they're spending a little bit more.
Yeah, but would we get a pack I mean, the only ever reduction we've ever had is on special events for a few days flash sale with 25% off, right? I mean, that's the only pack discounts really we've ever had in some sort of a celebration mode for a day or two. I don't see them ever changing the packs, because, to be honest, that people are going to buy them or not.
Yeah.
And more often than not, they're going to buy them, and they're going to look at it and think, you know what, we can pocket the extra 30 that we don't have to give to them. And that's more on our bottom line as well, and we don't have to pass it on, and we're still making money anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I like your sentiment. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to insult you, bro. I've got.
No, absolutely,
I just don't see why they would do that. It just makes no fiscal sense to do that.
No, I agree.
If they don't have to. But can I come back to the whole free-to-play Kraken thing? Because honestly, I get the perception out there, and tell me if I'm wrong, that a lot of people think that all the Krakens have like a direct line to CG creators of this game. I'm telling you.
There's a lot of dumb rumors or conspiracy theories about the Kraken.
Can I answer this? Can I answer this?
Go for it.
So
Go for it.
I am in the testing program. It is a very, very select few of us that, not just testers, but feedback that have direct access to CG. That got taken away a long time ago because there was a lot of stuff going on. And so they're very selective on who they're listening to. There are some players of different levels, and I'm not going to give their names, that test and give feedback, right? And there's some content creators that are in there that give their feedback. So it is very, very select that they're doing this, and they're being very selective for a reason, for security reasons, so stuff doesn't get leaked out. There's people who they trust, who they've known for a while, that they value their opinion, that they listen to. And I don't know why they have me in there, but so But yeah, so that stuff that they only listen to Krakens, I can tell you is nonsense.
If you think that a guy who spends 100K in this game has a direct line to CG, I know that person. That does not happen because they get as pissed off about the game as we do.
Yeah, they don't know.
So don't think for a second that they got a direct line in there because it doesn't happen. And this whole free-to-play thing, thinking that Krakens are ruling the world in this game, yeah, they're spending, but that's their decision. That's the way they want to play the game. Just like Nev wants to play the game free-to-play. I couldn't do it. Congratulations to you. That's great. But there's always this gulf for free-to-play versus paid. If you want to play the game your way, you play that. But don't think for 1 second that there's this huge advantage that people are getting by spending because they're just not.
I mean, Nev, you talked to Karam. You're free to play. He values your opinion just as much as he values mine or anybody that spends, that spends more, right? So, and Doja's the same way. I mean, those guys, when we talk to them, they're, and then when I talk to other people at CG, they listen. They all opinions. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to, go the direction that maybe we want them or something along those lines, but at least they're, we have that discussion, so, and trust me, it's not all Krakens do not have a direct line to CG.
Hell no.
Trust me, plenty of Krakens wish they did, but they don't. And they're okay with that. A lot of Krakens I know is like, okay, just tell them what I say. And that's like, okay, I will, so yeah, I think we can nip that in the ass.
Ranger, can I come back on the original? The original question was about dolphins, and I think, just give an opinion, I think it is probably their most important. And if I was running CG, I don't. The one metric I would look at every month was the number of hyperdrive bundles sold.
Yeah.
And I would have a line on that board, and when that line started to go down, I would panic because the whales will always spend, the people in the middle will always spend, but the new players, the ones that are coming into the game that are willing to buy that hyperdrive bundle, is probably my key metric. And therefore, I think that's probably their number one KPI. And I know it sounds, I don't mean to kind of challenge anyone, but I would expect them, if they're panicking, there'll be a hyperdrive 2, and that could be a hyperdrive light for $50 underneath the first hyperdrive, or it could be a hyperdrive past it. But that, if they're panicking, I think that'll be the reaction they'll make. And I think that's our number one metric.
Yeah.
Didn't we get like a light speed bundle or something like that? Like if you had bought the hyperdrive bundle.
Yes.
Yeah, for Zetas and stuff. Yeah.
But I think there'll be a permanent one. I think there might be a $50 one sort of thing added in if they're worried about. But that's my opinion. I think that's their number one metric.
At some point, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that at some point. A hyperdrive bundle too, because obviously a hyperdrive bundle just takes you to 85, and it takes a huge group of characters to to 5 stars. A hyperdrive bundle too, to finish them off, the same group of characters to finish them off to 7 stars for another $100. So somebody that comes to the game for the pricely sum of $200 doesn't have to grind for 18 to 24 months on that huge group of characters and ships. Something like that. I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. Not immediately. They got their hands full with other things, but if like you said, if the metrics started going down, if people were like not seeing if new players were not seeing the value in a hyperdrive bundle because they're like, yeah, great, I paid $100, but all of these characters are only 5 stars in gear 8. I need them to be 7 stars in gear 11 so that I can start taking them to 12 in relic level. A hyperdrive bundle 2 that takes them from 8 to 11 and from 5 to 7 stars. Yeah, that would retain a lot of dolphins.
You know what also would work as well is even halving the current hyperdrive bundle we have and then releasing another one, which is the price it is currently, and giving it options to get something like all the requirements for gas, something like that. That way you're going to get your Jedi Knight Rev and you're going to get a gas. You're up and running with a couple of options pretty quick, and you can be reasonably competitive in a short time. Like Warrior was saying, the other person, has been working on gas for 12 months. Well, make an easier way to get gas now. That's the next benchmark, isn't it? Past Jedi Knight Revan, really. So
that's a pretty good idea.
Like event hyperdrive bundles.
Yeah, exactly. Like a personalized hyperdrive bundle for what this player wants to do.
The Camino bundle. The Camino bundle, right?
That's a pretty good idea.
Or the Starforge bundle. For Malik or something like that,
something like that would make them a lot of money.
Yeah, it would.
I think
Absolutely,
it would be brilliant.
because
I think that's a smart play. I think that's an exceptionally smart play. So
Since I suggested that, can I get cut?
No, you will not get cut.
because the way the game's going with Galactic Legends and stuff, a lot of these characters in the Hyperdrive bundle and things like that really are at a reasonably low tier. If you want to accelerate people's engagement in the game, especially spenders, give them something more relevant that they're going to actually use and actually rely on and depend on a lot more. That to me makes more sense. And I don't think the current Hyperdrive bundle's doing that now.
Yeah, if you make it so that you can purchase what you need to get the Revans and Malik.
You still got to unlock it. You still need the mods. You still need to unlock it
to get the
the mods part of this is brutal. Like you spend $200 to go get gas, and then you don't have mods.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, but that's a whole different argument for a pack for that. If people really want to make it easier on themselves, but we could go on for hours about that.
Them. Yeah, that's
hey, mate, don't think they haven't thought about it. I mean, if they're smart, they've already thought about this stuff.
There would be very few things to make me consider quitting the game, and them selling plus 25s would be it.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. You can't have that. You got to earn that. That's. But I mean, there's no reason why you can't get even plus 15s would help a lot. Plus 10s, plus 15s.
Yeah.
It's just something like that. If you're starting off, you get a good base of mods to work off. Not a crazy amount, but a couple that you can chuck onto a character and get you through those battles.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, another $2 donation super chat from Jay Smitty 007. Thank you very much for the dono. Yuta, we have two more questions. Yuta says, question, has there been any talks about removing that stupid Hyperdrive bundle special offer button off the screen for those that have been level 85 for years? Yeah, that would be kind of nice. I think after a certain amount of time, or you can opt out and say it'll be there, but you just don't see it on your screen, right? So
they'll make you pay $9.99 to remove
it. Well played.
Epic Fails question for Buddha, the sexy Buddha. As guild leader, how do I get mercs and how many spots do we need open, as we can only do half the first phase, maybe? Warrior, any ideas?
Say that again, because the sexy Buddha's not here.
Yeah, for merking. Just I know there's a Discord for merking, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what the name
you're gonna
of it
merc.
is.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different merc channels and stuff. I don't merc, so I don't do it. But yeah, there's a ton of merc channels, and you can basically join them, and there'll be guilds that'll be in there, and you sign up, and you'll go at a specific time. You'll leave your guild, go there, kind of in between guild events. You'll join up whatever sometimes they're running 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes they do all 4 at one time. You'll do them all with them, run through it, and then go back to your guild after you collect your rewards. And normally they run about 10 people over there, just to have enough to clear it, because it's funny, 10 people can clear an entire raid now. But that way they have people that can get the rewards. But I don't merc. It's just I don't have enough time in my day, crazy enough, to go running back and forth and joining and leaving and joining and leaving and all that. So
yeah. I'm a merc. I can help with that if you want. Cool. I do a fair bit of merking, but yeah, there's a really, really good server. I've got the link. I can find it. I got given it the other day. Merc City, I think it is, and they are really, really well organized. I think it's got a few friends here. I think JMA is involved in it, and a few other people that help out a lot of other people to get stuff. But yeah, I did a 5 raid Merc Apocalypse, I think, the other day. So all 5 raids. So 2 pits, 1 challenge pit, a Sith raid, and a tank raid, all within an hour and a half. So yeah, it's a lot of fun actually. But yeah, there are great servers out there, and I've got the link if anyone wants it. They can hit me up somewhere.
All right, let's get through a couple more here real quick, and then I'll start wrapping it up. What else? 3 question. With only about 3 months left, how many ships could they include in that amount of time? Well, we've seen them go crazy with marquees before in the past. I don't know. I think it's more of, we'll see by December if we haven't had the shipload of content. If 2 ships was the only shipload of content, you're gonna get a Ranger rant, because I'll be like, y'all said it. I said this is gonna be your ships, and we got 2 ships. I'm sorry, that's not a shipload of content. That's quasi ship content. So next question, the Drummer Freak 79 question. This will be my first hard mode conquest at 4 million GP. I have Gas, GKR, GG, Padme are my only viable teams. Any advice? Thanks, guys. May the force be with you. Do what you can. I mean, honestly.
Good luck.
Yeah, do what you can and be realistic. Like,
Yes.
do not force yourself to do every single feat. Do not force yourself to get all the way through Sector 5. Like, take it as a learning experience. Take it in stride. Ask a lot of people questions, and then just try to alternate between your teams, so you're not getting too low on stamina. Because if you're only working with 3 teams, that's going to be a very real reality.
Yeah.
Set yourself a reasonable target. Like, I'm going to get box 3. You know, set yourself a reasonable target, box 3, and then anything beyond that is a bonus. Set yourself a modest target, like box 3.
I would say, okay, everybody might shout at me, but I think, is gas not broken? I mean, can you not get a data disc that recovers 4% protection?
Defense formation.
So if
gives
you
you
get
4% back every time.
So if you get 2 of those, gas with your 501st might clear the entire thing.
Yeah, it can do a long.
That's really good. That's a really good tip.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely
so-
been look out for that.
Get the 4%. Yeah, sorry, Nev, you go. You know it.
Yeah, no, the grey one is 2%. The green one is 4%. The blue one is 6%. I was rocking a green and a blue, so I had 10% regeneration. And that's every time somebody attacks out of turn. That's 10% use. So
and if you get the
one
that's-
attack, everybody assists. Boom,
Yeah, and if you get the
protection.
other one, and I can't remember what it's called, where you get like the start of the battle, you start with like 50 or 75% more protection. I mean, that just makes your team.
Anything on the leader.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. If you get that, your gas team will
Take you quite far. Yeah, at least
You
through
might not get all
Sector
the
4.
feats, but you get through Sector 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 5-star gas, was good. Even with all the data discs, it was good to 70%. So I was getting like 3 battles with a 5-star Gear 11 gas in the higher sectors, just to kind of like push through and try and make those 1-star and 2 stars into 3 stars, because I had the data cards then.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, my 5-star wasn't much good beyond 70%. But if you're rocking a relic gas, I imagine you're going to be able to take that a lot further.
I'm pretty sure Loki, if I'm right, Ranger, when we talked about it last week, I think he used gas down to like 9% viability and stamina, and and just kept working through it.
Yeah,
So-
I did the same thing. I was like, go in there, gas. I know you only got 20% stamina, but you got 900 million protection, so you got this, homie. And he did. All right, real quick, 2 more questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up and let everybody pimp their stuff. What else in 3? Real quick question: is gas 501st still a solid ray counter? Did they fix that? Did they fix the gas 501st counter versus ray?
I would say no and no. Like, they didn't fix it, but it's still not super consistent.
No,
Like, there is a little bit of RNG, and there's a lot to do with modding. I don't know how consistent I would consider, but I don't even think they need to nerf it. I hope they don't nerf anything.
No, they don't. Not on that. And it's gas, for Christ's sakes. General Milan, last question. This is a really good question to end the stream. What tips would you give players that could help them have more fun and enjoy the game? Well, I'll give my little tip, and then we'll let everybody jump in on this one. This is a really good question to end the show. To have fun and enjoy the game more, play the game how you want to play it. For example, if you want to just be casual, play casual. If there's certain characters you want to get, then get those characters, right? If you are really a competitive person and you want to get to the end game and do that and work on certain characters and teams, do that. You have full control over how much you have fun with. Find the stuff that you enjoy, and then do that. It's a pretty simple. I mean, anybody else have ideas or things they want to say about this? This is a really good question to end the stream.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. You go in and you get Savage, and when you get him to Relic 5, you unlock 20 million.
How dare you?
So, no, but for real, you run at your own pace. And the cool thing about this game is everyone thinks you have to be like, get to the end, get to the end, get to the end, get to the end. No, you run your own race. The cool thing about the game is you can be in a guild where you can be paired up with people of similar nature, and then go against another guild of a similar nature, and that's fun, right? You can also go into Grand Arena and be paired with similar natured players. That's fun. You're in Arena where you start off with a similar natured group of people. yes, arena and ships can get very competitive and you can get pushed back out of the top 500, that kind of thing. It happens. You may not make as many crystals as you desire, but there are other places to get, 900 crystals out of a territory battle. And there's 2 territory battles roll in a month. There are other places to get stuff like that. Territory wars is fun. You can get a lot of stuff there. There are raids you can focus on that are fun to learn and grow with. So play at your own pace. Focus on the teams you find are, going to benefit you the most. But if you don't get something tomorrow, it's okay. You have to be okay with just
reasonable expectations.
The grind has to be something you're okay with. Like I was just on Facebook this week and it's just a complaint session about grinding, and it's like, dude, it's like that's all this game ever has been. Like, I remember when First Order
that is the model of the game.
Yeah, that is the literal model of the game. And I remember when First Order TIE Pilot had 1 node, 3 attempts, and you'd get 1 shard a day. And it literally took a year to get him. And it's like, that was okay. It's like, is what it is. It sucked. It was the worst grind I ever had. But it is what it is. It's a grinding game, and it's a lot better grind now than it was. But you just kind of have to embrace the suck, if you will. That's just a part of the game. And if you can't, this may not be the right, kind of MMO for you, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things like I always talk about. Like, I hate mods. I hate working on mods. Mod depression is real, right? But it's that aspect. Probably because you hit nice stuff. But for me, it's it's one of those necessary evils that I do to go do the fun stuff in the game that I do enjoy doing, like GAC and all this other stuff, right? I don't mind doing the grind either because it's just a necessary part of it. But it's not like I don't think about it because it's just a normal part of the game. Farming characters, doing this, doing that. But then I go, okay, now I've got all this cool stuff. Now I go do more stuff in raids and TB and GAC and stuff. So you have to again, reasonable expectations on this, guys. I mean, if you're going to be free to play, you have a certain expectation of where you're going to be with the game. If you're going to be a very, very light spender, you have to have certain expectations, and on the other hand, if you're going to spend a ton of money, be smart about it. Before you spend, I always say, ask questions. Before you make an investment, ask somebody that you trust or you think might know the answer, or get multiple opinions on, like, do you think getting this pack is worth it? Do you think buying this is worth it? And people will give you different ideas, and then you just go with what you think is best for your gameplay. I mean, any other suggestions to have more fun and enjoy the game more? Heinze, Nev, anybody?
You need to be around people, or you need to be able to celebrate what you're doing, kind of like what Warren, you were saying, like, go at your own stride. But you need to be able to celebrate your own stride too, and you need to be around people that are going to be positive about it. Like,
sure.
If, let's say you're a heavy spender and you want to celebrate getting gas in 1 month or something like that, that's cool. But if you're like, you spend nothing and you want to celebrate the fact that you stun locked the entire 6 waves of light side territory battles Hoth with Cara Dune, that's equally exciting. But you need to be able to get excited about that and be with people who aren't going to just be like, oh, who cares?
Right.
Like I've heard this type of response so much in some really negative guilds. Oh yeah, that's cool and all, but like light sword territory battle sucks. Like that's the response. Like, and then just a complete joy kill, and you quit the game because you think it's terrible.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
So you go, Eldie. You go, brother.
I was just saying, I 100% agree. I mean, be aware of who's in your room with you and celebrate with the room. And be careful that when you look out the window, you're not looking at people that are so in a different world. And remember that the way that the matchmaking works, the more you spend, you just get people who've spent the same. So don't spend. Like enjoy what you're unlocking. Don't feel under pressure to progress artificially, and just enjoy. And when you unlock any of the characters, C-3PO, and there's a million little joys to have along the way, when you unlock any one of those, take your time. The kits are fun. There's so many more synergies you're unlocking now. There's so many things to play with. Just enjoy it and celebrate it, and come chat and just talk to people like us. And yeah, I think it's amazing when I unlock people like C-3PO and Sith Eternal Emperor today. I'm like, wow, this is a whole new thing that synergizes different. It's exciting. It's just celebrate it.
All right, go ahead, Heinze.
Yeah, no, like I think to echo a lot of the other people, I totally agree. I think find a guild and a home and a community that you are happy to enjoy. That the community is by far better than the game in a lot of cases. That's been the case for many, many years. So find a place where you fit and you feel happy and you can be yourself. When it comes to the game itself, play it however the hell you want to play it. There's no wrong answer. If you want help, it's out there. There's information everywhere. It will help you enormously. It'll make the game a little bit more enjoyable, knowing what you need to do and what you need help with. And yeah, look, the last thing is always have a passion project. I mean, I just finished my Jawas a little while ago because I wanted to do them. I know there are people out there that love farming Tuscans, even though you barely won't use them anywhere, but they love them and they want to farm them because they can. Some guys like Phoenix, stuff like that. So
some people like Mace. Not gonna say
some people
names.
like Mace. I wasn't going to mention him, but yeah, you get the point. But always find something that you're passionate about and have fun with that team and embrace it, because you're going to have to farm other characters along the way for certain events, but do something you want to do. That'll make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree 1,000% with that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to allow these awesome content creators to pimp their stuff. Do me a favor, guys. These awesome folks come on here on a Saturday morning on their own time, on their own dime to answer your questions. Do me a favor. Once they pimp their stuff, go visit their sites, go watch their videos, go watch, find out where they are, subscribe, all that good stuff, and just that's a simple way of showing them some love and say thank you for being here. Estella, whoever likes Mace must be thrown off the window. But
there we go. Is here all week, try the veal.
Now I'll start off by pimping the two that had to go. Warrior has work, so he always joins us before work on Saturdays. But you can check out Warrior at Warrior Presents on YouTube. He also has a Twitch channel. I think it's just Warrior Presents on Twitch. I don't remember, but you can find the links to his stuff there. Check out his stuff. A lot of OG content creator, been doing this a long time, just like my old crusty ass. And then also we had, temporarily, I don't know what happened to her, but she was here. Kate Gaming was here. So the world famous Kate Gaming, I know she does a lot with the bounty hunting. She also has her own channel, and she does a lot of GAC. She's one of our top competitors in GAC at the mid-tier game. So if you're a mid-tier player and you want to see someone kick some ass, then Kate Gaming is actually someone you should really watch. She's really, really good. Nev, where can folks check you out at?
Check me out on Twitch and on YouTube. On Twitch, it's Escape Podcast, and on YouTube, it's The Escape Podcast. And we're late on the show, so we'll be doing the Escape Podcast, later on this afternoon. And I'll be doing my GAC probably within the next couple of hours. So, GAC and Friday show, but on Saturday instead.
All right. Hoinsey.
I actually want to do something different, if you don't mind, Ranger. I don't want to pimp myself. I want to pimp someone else who's doing some cool stuff right now. When we're finished here, guys, go over and head to Twitch and go and see Pink Ranger Gamer and go and give her some support. She's actually doing a 12-hour stream to raise money for kids in the ICU, families for kids in special care nurseries and stuff like that. I obviously had a 6-week prim son. It means a lot to me, that type of support. So it's a neonatal support for families. She's trying to raise $1,000. She's at about 700 at the moment, I think.
Let's go.
She hits the 1,000. She's going to douse herself in Dr. Pepper. So guys, go and help her out and spread the word, and head over there to Pink Ranger after we're finished here, guys.
You have a link?
I would really, really appreciate it.
Can you put that in the chat?
I've got to find it. Give me a second. I'll grab her channel.
Yeah,
Hang on one sec.
do that.
Yeah. Give me a sec. I don't know if I can post it. I'll have to send it to you, I think.
Send it to me, and then I'll put it in there.
I'll try.
If you
let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, see if it'll let you post. If not, then send it to me in Discord, and then I'll go post it.
Yep, boom. There we go. Straight up.
Hey, huzzah! Did it post?
I don't know. It came up for me. Did it come up for you guys in chat?
I don't see it.
Oh, maybe it didn't.
I'll send it to me in Discord here, and I'll
send it to you. Give me a second. Sorry. I haven't got the perms. I'm not important enough, guys.
Shut up. Calvin, where can folks check you out at?
I'm primarily on Twitch. I stream all my GAC battles. I stream them. I'll be streaming later today at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then I also stream on Sunday and Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. And you should go check out. There's a link for Pink Ranger Gamer. I like her name because it's got Ranger in it. She knows the deal. But yeah, if you guys have not seen Calvin, you should definitely go watch Calvin too. Bastard's the only one of the few undefeateds in the goddamn GAC that we cover. Him and Mort, man. Y'all just never lose, man. It's stupid. Oh, goodness. So definitely check that out, especially want to see some great GAC content. All this, where can folks check you out at?
Twitch, welcome to Standardize. Look, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Even to come on here is amazing, and this is my 3rd time on. Still not been invited on the Escape podcast as a guest. Keep asking. Still not invited. Let's move that on. But yeah, love you all. You guys are OG legends. And yeah, I appear on many other channels. But yeah, welcome to Sandflies is mine, and we streamed GAC about 9 hours ago. So that's a weird space. So very, very late for the US, 5 p.m. for the Australians, and early for the UK people. So yeah, that's my space.
There you go. All right. What is? Sorry, stupid connections. All right. Let's see here. Warrior, I already pimped your stuff. Anything else you want to pimp? I said the thought you came back. I thought you had to go do worky
Yeah,
stuff.
I left, but then I came back. But yeah, no, just on Twitch and at Where It Presents, and on YouTube at Where It Presents, and also you can chat with me on Twitter at Where It Present.
Yeah, and what's your Twitch again?
At Where it's just Where It
Where It
Presents.
Presents still okay. I wasn't quite 1,000% sure on that, but I was like, okay. See, there you go. Bringing people together. That's what we do here. Now, as a note, I'm going to take a quick break. I need to go to the store real quick, but then I got to find out what's going on with Sleepy Boy. Sleepy Boy thing. Figure out when we're going to do our GAC. We'll get our GAC knocked out here soon. I don't know how soon. I'm going to tag his monkey ass right now, as a matter of fact. Let me say wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Wakey, wakey. If it'll let me. Eggs and bakey. GAC time. There we go. Oh, I have to tag him or he won't see it. Perfect. There we go. All right, and so I'll know when that's but just come join us on Twitch and we'll do that. But I need to go run the store real quick, and then we'll be back to do my GAC. We'll knock it out, and then I'll have a small break today. And remember, guys, tonight on Twitch we will be doing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, which you guys really love. So we'll be getting our D&D fix on tonight, so we'll be having some fun with that. So I think that wraps it up for everybody here. So thank you everybody for joining here. Make sure you check out these other channels. So on behalf of myself and the Jedi Academy, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later. Peace out.